your leader in fine wine.
Here's Jones on a keeper. Out over the 40. To midfield. Matt Jones may take it to the house. And the dunk.
3-2 pitch. He struck him out. Got him looking. Hagen Smith has tied the school record with 17 strikeouts. But he's done it in 6 dominating innings. Peyton Holt in center field makes the catch. Runners don't try to score. Zonet's coming home. He throws to third. Sprague Lott fires to the plate. They got him.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good morning and a happy Monday. Happy freezing Monday. Hope everybody's finding ways to stay warm here on an historic January 20th. Phil Elson, my partner Matt Jones, Kristen Johnston in the producer's chair, and we got you for the next 3 hours here on ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, and the Hit That Line Now app. A big weekend of football comes to an end. We got a championship game later tonight with Ohio State and Notre Dame at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. We got the conference championship games on the docket coming up this next weekend. And maybe at some point there'll be a Razorback basketball victory. Good morning, Matt Jones. Happy Monday. How are you?
Happy Monday. Man, what a weekend for sport. Some awesome games going on over the weekend, man. That Ravens-Bills was just thrilling, and the Lions, I mean, you can't stop anybody, but if you're going to have 5 turnovers, you know, you don't really deserve to win the game.
No kidding. And that was the issue with, I think, with the Lions after all these injuries just decimate that defense. There's only so many games that you can continue to put up 36, 37, 38 points. And I don't remember, because on Friday we were kicking around, who do you think has the best chance to get a road victory here? He ended up with the Commanders getting it. I thought that might be the case just because it's so difficult to be perfect offensively like the Lions had been for a long, long time. Turned out it was Washington that was perfect offensively. And Jaden Daniels has already grown up right in front of our eyes, Matt. Conference championship game appearance as a rookie. Should be rookie of the year. But if I'm looking on the painful end of things, oh, gosh, the Lions, I think they're just the second 15-win team ever to lose in the divisional round. And the Ravens, a team that's just so good at holding on to the football. And Lamar Jackson, just amazing, not turning it over in the regular season. It just continues to be an issue for him in the postseason. And Baltimore dropping the way that they did, especially with the drop 2-point conversion by Andrews, who I don't think had dropped a pass maybe once all season long. It's just, anytime that there's playoffs, there's going to be games that rip your heart out. But for Detroit fans, it must have felt to them that this was the year, and they got to wait all over again and hope everybody gets healthy and that they can stop a team defensively next season.
You're exactly right. Watching that Baltimore-Buffalo game, I mean, Buffalo had 273 yards of total offense. They ran 59 plays, and on the other side, Baltimore ran 57 plays and had 416 yards. But it's the 3 turnovers to 0 turnovers. You can't beat yourselves in these moments. And Buffalo, it seemed that, I mean, they were able to get out to a little lead and then kind of played tight. But man, when you got a lead and you're playing against Baltimore, you don't want to turn the ball over, and they didn't.
I think all 4 teams that lost outgained the winning team, and it just came down to turnovers. That's why it's like don't point out to me too often about total offense for a team. Let's see points scored. Let's see how you do when it comes to turning the ball over. 10 turnovers by the losing teams, 0 turnovers by the winning teams. That's the number that matters a heck of a lot more. And now we got this. Now we got our first ever. Well, not the first ever, because we've done this for the last 10 years, but the first ever championship for a 12-team playoff. And you talk about heavy favorite. Ohio State is a massive favorite in this game, favored by 8.5 points, minus 350 on the money line. It's only a 45.5 point over/under on Bet Saracen at the moment. We'll see if that changes if the money comes in throughout the day, but I don't really know how Notre Dame gets it done today. I just think they're a little bit beat up, and Ohio State's just played nearly flawless football over the course of this playoff, Matt.
Yeah, they're going to have to play perfect. I think that's the only way. There's talent on that team, and the defense can get a couple turnovers. I mean, they're talented enough, and then you got to. I mean, Ohio State has so many weapons. It's kind of like you got to hope they kind of beat theirself a little bit. Maybe stumble coming out of the blocks, and then it's Philly and the Redskins or the Commanders, Phil, and they split the season series. Can you see any way the Redskins, I mean, the Commanders beat Philly? I mean, it's like nobody would have thought that would be the NFC Championship game.
Maybe in a shootout, I guess. It just seems like it would be pretty impossible to slow down Saquon Barkley. If you were to pick one player right now in the playoffs that looks impossible, absolutely impossible to slow down, the one person I would pick right now is Saquon Barkley, and that's over anybody on the Kansas City Chiefs, because that's a team where the defense is winning them games. They're making just enough plays offensively, and I know there's plenty of folks who think that they're getting some help from the officials, and I think there were a couple of soft calls there, but I also don't think you make, 7 AFC championship games in a row just by getting help from the officials, but I think that was a factor in it yesterday. Saquon, I think, is the most unstoppable player in the playoffs. The other aspect of that, too, Matt, is potentially the second most unstoppable player offensively is the quarterback for the Commanders in Jaden Daniels. He's making throws that a seasoned veteran would be making, man. It's amazing to watch, because I still remember when he played at Razorback Stadium a couple of years ago, and I was thinking, wait a minute, this guy's throwing a sinker. He's not throwing a sinker. He's throwing the most perfect pass in the postseason right now.
Man, he's a joy to watch. I mean, those two young quarterbacks, Jalen Hurts and Jaden Daniels, going to get to go at it. And then on the other side, two veterans, Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. Does anybody not named Patrick Mahomes, lift the Lombardi Trophy? Who's the last? Stafford's got one, Tom Brady's got one, but nobody else in the playoffs. And you're going to have to go through Kansas City to do it. I actually think Kansas City rather play Buffalo than play Baltimore.
Well, I mean, I think you'd said that. I think you'd said that too. It's just, and I wonder if the game is played in Baltimore, things are different, because Baltimore to me just was playing flawless offensively. They didn't turn the ball over at all. I mean, yesterday, obviously they did. They can run it. They've got a Hall of Fame running back. And I mean, Derrick Henry couldn't really get going at all in the first half. You got to give credit to that the Buffalo defense. And that's kind of that's really kind of the unspoken unit in the entire, at least AFC side of the playoffs, too. You can point to Baltimore making mistakes with turnovers, but the Bills defenders have to make plays. I mean, DeMar Hamlin making a play on Jackson near the goal line. Forget the name of the safety who stripped
Von
Mark
Miller
Andrews
with the scoop
of the ball.
when he did put the ball on the ground.
Exactly. I mean, these are players in Jackson and Andrews who never make these kinds of plays. So it's not just a matter of them making mistakes. Somebody's got to actually do something to force a mistake like this. That's what I think about this college football championship tonight. In a perfect world, well, not a perfect world. If you're just going by what we've seen from Ohio State in the first 3 games that they've played, you think Notre Dame has no chance. But we've already seen in previously, or what was the biggest game of the regular season for them, that they laid a giant egg against a team that they were favored by 3 touchdowns. Now, I know you can't really go back to what happened against Michigan and think, well, that happens here in the championship. But if you act like that's your biggest game of the year and you lay that big fat egg, what's to say that it's been 2 months? I mean, it's been 2 months since that game. Maybe there can be another egg laid tonight. And maybe I'm just saying that, Matt, because I'd like to see a game that's compelling, that keeps me awake tonight.
Well, that Notre Dame defense, they're going to have to show up, and that's really the strength of this team. Can they limit the explosive plays? Can they make Will Howard a little nervous? Can they muck it up for him? And they're going to have to win third downs, and then like what we talked about, that stat you gave with the NFL playoffs, 10 turnovers for the losing teams, 0 turnovers for the winning teams. Big games come down to who protects the ball the best.
And just one last thing on protecting the ball and things that don't make sense to you. I guess you point to difference in regular season performance and what somebody does in the postseason, because most often you're playing a good team in the postseason, and you're not always playing a good team in the regular season. But Lamar Jackson, Matt, in his career, his entire regular season career, has had 4 games where he's thrown an interception and a fumble. You know how many times he's done that in the playoffs? 4 times now. And he certainly hasn't played as many playoff games as he has regular season. These are things that don't make a lot of sense, and I'm not here to try to make sense of it either.
He's probably going to be a third-time MVP. I still think it could go to Saquon. I don't know when it's going to come out, but it's he's very easily becoming the Dan Marino of his generation. If you think about it, is he going to get over the hump? You got to think so, right? The one team I worry about is, do you think Detroit comes back next year? Do you think that they like who they are, and Jared Goff kind of got found out again?
I was going to say, it's like maybe Goff turned into that pumpkin instead of the carriage. It finally happened, but it took a couple years to get there. But yeah, those are the kind of things you got to wonder. You really do. You also got to wonder how many of you turned the game off after 18-2 Saturday against Missouri. I wouldn't have blamed you if you did. That was that. Look, I know they fought back at times, and you made it about a 10-point game in the second half, but that was unwatchable, literally unwatchable, not enjoyable at all, nothing but frustration. And when you are coming off of 4 consecutive losses, to be down 18-2 is just absolutely mind blowing. So I don't know where to go with basketball at the moment either. I just know it's not fun to watch. It can't be fun to play it because it doesn't look like they're having fun, or coach it. Something's got to change soon. So it's like, I don't know if I had answers for Lamar Jackson's postseason performances in terms of the fumbles and interceptions. I don't have any answers for the men's basketball team either, Matt.
Hey, Coach Cal looks good in blue. He's sharp out there in those blue jackets he wears for the Razorbacks. That's never seen a coach wear so much blue for the Razorbacks.
Blue used to be my favorite color.
He looks good in it, though.
It was. I don't do a lot of blue any longer. Red was not a color that I really wore very often until I started doing Razorback games. Now I actually kind of think I'm all right with red and wear it at every single game. Blue still can be one of my favorite colors. It's blended in with green because I love the color of a freshly cut baseball field. But independent of what it is that the coach is wearing, it is not a lot of fun to watch. Here's what we got for halftime today. Well, hopefully it'll be some fun. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, there's a reason, too. You kind of got to grow up and quit being a freshman when you're talking about our point guard. There's a reason you're open for shots, because you can't make them. That's the part of the defensive scheme, and so you got to realize that and get to the paint and be athletic and do some of the things he can do. Because he doesn't turn the ball over. I'm a Boogie Fland fan for sure, but man, quit shooting the ball when you're not making it, and there's a reason you're open.
All right, we've got Dr. Charlie Liggett from 3 Up, 3 Down in about an hour, so we'll get to that in a bit, and we'll have Mike Irwin at the bottom of this hour at 11:30. So if you want to get in with us, now's the time, 877-377-6963, and halftime is back right after this.
Who wants an orange whip? Orange whip? Orange whip? 3 orange whips.
This is halftime.
Boogie Fland leading them down the stretch.
Fland in the corner, and Boogie knocks down the 3. Fland just picked his pocket. Boogie flash, got the steal. Fland to the other end. Good and one. How about Boogie Fland?
That shot he made from the corner, that's a big boy play.
Boogie's open in the corner. Fland for 3. It's good. And Arkansas leads.
Listen to every Razorback basketball game right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Watch every Hog game this season at Joe's Grill and Cantina, your home for half-price apps and taps during every Hog game. With TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat for all the action. Half-price appetizers like Joe's Sampler Platter, Ballpark Nachos, 10-layer dip, brisket nachos, and Mexican pizza. And ask about Joe's tailgate packages to make your football experience even better in the comfort of your home. Half-price apps and taps for every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
It's that time of year. Longer nights and colder weather can mean higher energy bills. But Arkansas Oklahoma Gas wants to help you save on your energy costs this winter. A healthy heating system equals a happy home and wallet. Ensure it runs efficiently by scheduling regular maintenance with a licensed technician. Adjust ceiling fans to spin clockwise to help push warm air down. Keep your thermostat on a lower setting, health allowing, and layer up on clothing. For more money-saving tips, visit AOGC.com/winter.
Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing on all 2024 Buick Encore GXs at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Encore GX is a boldly styled 5-person SUV that is ready to reward. Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing for well-qualified buyers. This is a limited time offer. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith and online at harryrobinson.com.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so like everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are like so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football, it's a pepper thing.
Mark your calendars and save big at the Greater River Valley RV Show going on January 30th through February 2nd at Crabtree RV Center in Alma. Special show pricing and financing available on all units, new or used. Come and see our large inventory of industry-leading brands such as Grand Design and Forest River. Take advantage of the huge savings at the Greater River Valley RV Show at Crabtree RV Center, January 30th through February 2nd. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call your local Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Service Master Clean is an industry leader and can remove the toughest stains from your home or office. And they back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or online at ServiceMasterPC.com.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Are you stuck in a paper jam of printer prices? Paper cuts from budget cuts? Don't throw in the towel. Call Dixie Digital Imaging and dive into our new and used inventory blowout. We're slashing prices on top-of-the-line Xerox, Brother, and Epson printers and multifunction devices. Gently used or brand new models that are tired of being in our warehouse. Don't miss out on these deals. Call 479-783-6600 for more details. Quantities and availability are limited. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
Is everybody happy now? Is everybody clear? We could drive out to the dunes tonight, 'cause summer's almost here. I've been up all night, I might sleep all day, get your dreams just right, and let them slip away. I might sleep all day.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
All right, it's 19 minutes after 11 o'clock in the morning. Something must be wrong here. I don't know have we gone to, have we sprung forward already? Is that going on in January? Or I know Trump's talking about trying to do away with daylight savings time. I don't know if that means really go back to daylight standard time all the time. But Charlie's called us, and he's called us about an hour earlier than usual. He actually called during the first segment and said he would hold. So that means he knows that it's still the morning because we never take calls in the first segment. Matt, something's going on here. Yeah.
Something must be heavy.
Well, let's talk to Charlie here. You can do it too. 877-377-6963. Charlie, all right? What's going on? You need anything?
Phil, I knew you was gonna go there. No, you know what it's like when you're off from work and, you know, today we're off for MLK Day, and I think it's just, you know, you do a few things a little different on days when you're off. I don't know if it's just me or you just feel out of place a little bit. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I think it's 12:19. I don't know what's going on up there in my brain. So, Matt, just last week you commented on my consistency, and now I've let you down. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I got to make it up to you, man. I don't know.
But I knew what's in your. No, I don't really know what's in your mind. But if you call in the first segment, if anybody that's a loyal listener to Halftime calls in the first segment, that means that they're upset about something going on with their favorite team. And Charlie, it feels like you called for basketball here.
Well, you know, you're partly right, but as much as I love basketball, I love football too. And I'll tell you, had a unbelievable time watching the playoffs this weekend. But as far as the basketball team goes, there was something they showed during the game that caught my eye, and I appreciate the broadcast doing this. I'm not making no excuses. I want everybody not to think that I'm doing that, anybody that's listening, because somebody's going to call right after me and say I'm making excuses. I'm not. But the youth of this team, we are the youngest team in the SEC, and I didn't even know it. You guys, I didn't even know that. And so my point on that is I was thinking about the Missouri team last night, and Phil, you correct me if I'm wrong, but they're 4-1 in the SEC, or whatever their record is, 4-2, whatever. And they brought a lot of people back from last year. So
That's right.
my point to this is everybody thinking that we should just – there's a lot of people out there that think that we should just grab all of our players and get rid of every single one of them and start over again. I do not agree with that. And the problem with doing that every single year is something like this right here can happen because you have no turnover. You have – I mean, let's think about it. The only thing they really had back from last year's team was Brazil, right? I mean, I think you had another guy that got hurt, but yeah, that was it, right? And I mean, look, Boogie Flan, he needs, I know his hand's bothering him too. He needs to, in my opinion, stay another year, but I don't know if he'll do that. He's probably going to go pro if he's a first-round grade, so we may lose him. But the idea that we need to just unload and get rid of everyone, I don't buy that, guys. I think, these guys are talented. But there was something also said on the broadcast. We make a run there, cut it, and then we make a mistake, turnover, something. That's what young teams do. And I'm not saying that's the only reason we're losing. But I don't think this team lacks talent. I just think it lacks certain things right now, experience, cohesion. And that's my argument. We've already got 3 guards coming in. The idea that you can rely on just freshmen or youth anymore, like he used to do at Kentucky, I'm not saying he's trying to do that with this team, but it just doesn't work that way because the teams that are standing at the end, they usually have some experience. I mean, Kentucky's got 5 seniors starting, 5 of them. So, and I don't know, man. I'm not buying that. I know the expectations were high, but I don't want to fire John Calipari either after just one failed season like some people were thinking. So that's just I'm not going there. Anyways, I'm going to hang up and listen, see what you guys think about all that. Y'all have a good one.
Charlie, appreciate it. Thanks a lot. 877-377-6963. The youth is concentrated in, you got 3 freshmen. There are going to be a lot of teams right now in big-time college basketball where 3 freshmen are going to be getting this much playing time. Certainly in the SEC, that is not the case. Used to be before all the changes in college sports and added years of eligibility and NIL and reasons to stay around and transfer portal and everything. And so, yeah, I mean, that worked years ago. I mean, Cal showed that it worked years ago, but it's not going to work right now. Now, the other aspect of this is even if, Jonas Adu was healthy all year, even if Janelle Davis was healthy all year, you were still at a point where you were going to have to rely on 3 players that there were some ifs about here. And I don't care how good a freshman is coming in, a freshman is still an if. Carter Knox and Billy Richmond are ifs. And there's plenty to like about those 2 kids, but it's more about projecting into the future than I think it's about this year. And Big Z is kind of the same thing. And Z played his best game against Missouri, but it was all for naught. So, I mean, it all comes to roster construction and everything, I guess. But, when I'm hearing Charlie there talk, Matt, it's like, all right, he's looking into the future. Now he's looking into 25-26, and we still have a month and a half of regular season to go.
Yeah, you got to get some men. I mean, you got to get some guys that have had college off seasons in them. I mean, there's just your body at age 23 is just, you're more of an athlete. You're stronger than when you're 17, 18 years old. So, yeah, I don't know if you can find you get back to UConn last year and their freshmen. They had 1 freshman, but he was the most athletic kid. To be a freshman and to play this level. You really have to be uber athletic, and we're young, but yeah, we have you can see the athletic ability in this team. I mean, there's a lot of talent on this team. We're just figuring out how to play basketball.
Good morning, Cabbage Head. You're on our hotline. What's going on today?
Hey, we just got out of the Martin Luther King Jr. parade down Garrison Avenue in the sharp 1984 SSL Camino, and we're listening to you guys all the way.
Very good. I'm glad that the radio still works.
Yeah, but you know what? It's got a cassette player in it. It at least it's got some kind of player, because, the new ones don't, they can't play Mr. Cabbage Head Screaming Radish's CD because they ain't got CDs in them. So, if you get one, you better have some way to play in it. But guys, I'm gonna tell you, I agree with the guy that just talked. It's not the coach our situation. We got the coach. It's just like all those years that just we don't have the horses. We don't have. I don't feel like the people to compete with that SEC.
But
he'll get
Cabbage
there.
Head, I just want to cut in real quick and stay with me here. When I think when you're talking about where you're laying blame and it's on not having the horses, the coach is still responsible for the makeup of the roster and has been for a long, long time. What it feels to me is that this year right now is your sink or swim experiments that we've tried for a long time. This is like a sink or swim experiment for John Calipari and putting a roster together in the new age of college basketball, and right now it's sinking.
Well, and we can't expect for him to be in the Final Four the first year. Don't you agree? I mean, it's going to take him a while, but he's got to recruit some shooters, because we look terrible, as you guys know. The horses we got, they play hard, but they just can't match up with those SEC teams. But you give him time, and he'll get out. He just didn't have a lot of time to put a team together when he got the job. He did pretty good, and what's his name that he did get, but he can't hit every one of those at the 3. But you can't combat those 3s with 2s. It just don't work out that way. And I believe we'll get there. It's just going to take. People need to be, they kind of need to cut him some slack, and we'll get there, because we got the coach. There ain't no doubt about that. And we just got to recruit some other players that can help us with that shooting and rebounding, because if you watch those games, boy, that one before Missouri, that looked terrible. But we'll get there. Just people hang in there and not want to get rid of the dang coach, because that would, and even him saying, well, it's on me. No, it's not. He's doing the best he can. He just don't have the players. Thanks, guys.
All right, Cabbage Head. Appreciate you calling up. We're brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback, right next to Baum Walker Stadium. And hey, the baseball team's starting to practice later on this weekend. Gear up for baseball season. They got everything you need at the Stadium Shop. It doesn't get more Razorback than the Stadium Shop. Local, family, alumni owned and operated. They'll do great by you at the Stadium Shop. 479 Stadiums, the phone number, the website, shoponrazorback.com. Make sure they know ESPN Arkansas sent you. Mike Irwin from Pig Trail Nation joins us right after this break.
Can you fly this plane and land it?
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious, and don't call me Shirley.
This is Halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
Life is loud, chaotic, hilarious, and occasionally peaceful. Your life fits you, so why settle for life insurance that fits someone else? At Shelter Insurance, our local agents help you design a personal protection plan backed by award-winning customer service. We're your shield. We're your shelter. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Call Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Brad Howe in Van Buren.
With the new $7 Lux Cravings box from Taco Bell, luxury is all in the details. A cheesy gordita crunch with the crisp bite of a crunchy taco wrapped in a pillowy flatbread. A beefy 5-layer burrito with seasoned beef stacked on velvety melted cheese. A crunchy taco, chips and nacho cheese sauce, and a medium drink. All for just $7. Live Lux for less today at Taco Bell. At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Price and participation varies. Drinks exclude free tax extra.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakhalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, the NBA, and college basketball to NHL and UFC, head to BetOnline today and don't forget to use the promo code BELIEVE for your welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
Eat Lux your way with the new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes from Taco Bell. The $5 Classic box is iconic all over. The $7 Supreme box has your decadent favorites and then some. The $9 Discovery box introduces you to your newest obsession, like cheesy dipping burritos. Introducing the new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes, only at Taco Bell.
In every generation, there are those who question the status quo. Questions like, why can't chicken be slow roasted? Why can't I have shredded purple cabbage? Why can't my quesadilla have cheese inside and out? And where's my avocado verde salsa? The new era of chicken is here to stay. The Cantina Chicken Menu. Only at Taco Bell.
I like you, despise you, admire you, but I wake up at 2 and everything all falls through. I must confess I've made a mess of what should be a small success, but I digress, at least I've tried my very best, I guess. This, that, the other, why even bother? It won't be with me on my deathbed, but I'll still be in your head.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
All right, and back in on halftime, 11:35 in the morning. We go right to our hotline where Pig Trail Nation's Mike Irwin is joining us here on the day of college football's national championship. Mike, how you doing? You see any chance for Notre Dame today, beat up and everything, and Ohio State playing as well as they are?
I would have to go with Ohio State, but football, any sport can surprise you. That's the good part about it. That's why they have upsets. That's where the name upset came from, right?
I guess so.
It could happen.
Yeah, I
it
really
could
thought
happen.
of where the word came from specifically.
I think it came from a horse that beat some horse,
right.
Man of War or some crazy thing, and so it was a huge upset. So they just started calling it upsets, but it fits. So maybe we'll have an upset. I don't know. I'm not for Notre Dame. I hope they get beat. I hope they get beat bad. I don't like them.
But it's difficult to tell sometimes. Like, you think you know what you're watching. It's just like the NFL playoffs over the weekend. Lamar Jackson is not a turnover machine in the regular season, but in the postseason he is. You can't. It's not just chalking it up to playing against better teams, because he didn't turn it over against a lot of good teams in the regular season too. It's just, sometimes I don't know if it's the moment gets to you or you were just due for a bad game.
Well, I mean, we're even seeing that in the SEC basketball. Not necessarily talking about Arkansas, but some of the better teams. How does Alabama get beat bad at home? I mean, just dominated, really. And then they bounce back and have a big road win. I mean, you just don't know. But, they've sort of been shifting me slowly but surely over to baseball in the last 7 or 8 days, and I'm loving it. Let me cover that sport for a while. I want to get away from basketball. Let somebody else do it. I don't want that anymore. So, I am looking forward to baseball season, and I hope it doesn't turn into a bad thing, because if it does, Dave Van Horn, they're gonna be after him. We posted that preseason interview he did last week on the internet, and the first comment was, "I think it's embarrassing that he hasn't won a national championship." So the fan base is just mad right now. They're just mad at everything.
Yeah, I think sometimes kind of what the expectations are going into it, and now you're just like, you kind of don't believe how this team's 0-5. Hey, Mike, with the NFL playoffs last weekend, how much did you get to watch, and what team impressed you the most?
I told you this before, man. I don't watch the NFL. I'm sitting there watching basketball.
Fair enough.
I don't know. There's only so much of my time that I'm going to spend on sports. I'll be honest with you. I watch a lot of stuff that is non-sports related when I get home, just to clear my head. And especially when a basketball season, you just get so tired of just crap reading stuff, and it just starts to. It feels like the whole world is just squatting on you. Like, oh, let me up. I got to get away from this stuff. But I'm very interested in the SEC, Matt, for this reason. I've never seen it like this. And I still think a lot of our fans don't understand that they're witnessing a once-in-a-lifetime thing. The conference has never been this good in basketball, ever. Not even close, really, not last year. And I don't know if it'll stay like this, but there's so many good teams and so many things happening out there. And it's just, I'm asking myself, how did this perfect storm come together where if you look at the teams that are winning, they've got a combination of maybe guys that, had been with the program for a couple, 3 years, and then the transfers they have. Like Alabama's got 3 guys that this is their second year in that system. So they're better than they were in the first year. And I think that's important. You got to have older players that deliver. And this team, this Arkansas team, who are the older players? Well, Brazile, okay. They came from 20 down to 10 down. He's at the line the other night with a chance to get it to 8, and he misses both free throws. And they just went bananas after that. So who are your other two older guys? Nelly Davis and Jonas Adu. And they're not what they were supposed to be when he brought them in. So now we're left with a bunch of younger guys, and it's not surprising to me that they're not consistent, that Billy Richmond can just suddenly explode through the middle of the lane and slam dunk the ball, and you're going, why does he do that all the time? Because he just doesn't. He's too young. We see flashes of what he can be, but not always. And then I watch these national analysts. One of them got all over Cal for not playing Nelly Davis enough. But he totally ignored the fact that the guy's been injured, and then didn't mention that, oh, by the way, against Florida, he played him right at 30 minutes, and he scored no points. So, you got to be aware of what's happening. Now, it looks like Davis is going to have to play now if Boogie Fland's hurt enough to where he might have to miss a game or two. But it don't look good for this team. I mean, people are asking me how many games will they win in the SEC. I don't know, 2, maybe 3. That's as many as I see, unless something really changes.
Yeah, and that's just not fun. We've had a couple of phone calls here and fans looking ahead to, not really looking ahead to next year, but, talking about why this year's already a failure without them using those terms. And yeah, I mean, I think you put this team in the SEC like 11 years ago, they would do really well. They might do very well. But you're right. I mean, this is happening in a year where the SEC is just taking this massive rocket launch into the atmosphere. And it's just got to be, you look back at when the schools were admonished by the SEC administration for not caring about basketball. Next thing you know, you get a few better coaches that come into the league, and it's not just Cal, and there's some success that ends up going a little bit better over a few years. And then the next thing you know, you get this complete change in college sports with the portal and NIL, and a league that's flush with cash, and maybe some of it's coming from football too, but it's just kind of interesting where right now there's this conversation of, well, the SEC is falling in football. It's just 2 years in a row. They don't have anybody in the championship game, but it's still an amazing league, and they're making reasons up for why, bigger cities for some of the Big Ten schools and smaller campuses and smaller cities in the SEC. But meanwhile, you look at basketball, and it's completely opposite from that, where the Big Ten isn't so good this year, and the SEC is amazing, and you just don't see Arkansas fitting into it right now. Not this year, at least.
What's going to be interesting is once we get to the NCAA tournament, what happens to these SEC teams then? Because if they continue to play the way they did in non-conference and the way they're honestly playing against each other, then you could expect to see some situations where the only way an SEC team gets knocked out is if another SEC team knocks them out. So what does the Sweet 16 look like? How many are left in the Elite Eight? How many get into the Final Four? That'll be a real test of how strong this league is. But right now, I haven't seen anything like it. And I'm not just talking the SEC. I'm used to certain other conferences, being dominant. And I don't think there's ever been anything like this. I think Arkansas is kind of right there at the bottom, maybe with South Carolina, some team, and LSU. I think if they played LSU here, they'd probably beat them. So you got maybe 3 teams there at the bottom, and I think all 3 of those teams are good. They're not. Their fans probably think their team stinks. Well, it doesn't stink. It's just not as good as those other teams. This would be, as you said, you put this in another SEC a few years ago, or I think if you even took some of these teams and these bottom 3 teams and stuck them in the Big 12 or another conference, they'd be much higher up in those conferences. But it is what it is. You can't get away from it. I'm just thinking Cal's probably sitting there at night thinking, I should have taken a job outside the SEC. I should have gone somewhere else.
Well, Mike, you mentioned you're excited about covering baseball coming up. I know I am. If they get outside Friday and Saturday, I'll get out there and watch it as long as I possibly can, or at least as long as I can take it. Gabe Gackle named Baseball America preseason SEC Pitcher of the Year, and I can just hear the screaming of fans all across the state. No, they do not want any of those sorts of awards. But I'll tell you what. I mean, I see why BA did this, because Gackle's. Sorry, listeners who don't want to hear this kind of stuff, but it just is a fact of this. The sky is the limit for Gabe Gackle.
Yeah, and I loved what Van Horn said about, it's not very often that a guy can have maybe the best pitcher in college baseball and lose him, but end up with a better staff. But people aren't remembering, if they think that, what was happening on Saturday and Sunday with the starters, the inconsistency, and how you were having to use a bullpen over a lot. And so now, if you end up with, you don't have a Hagen Smith, but maybe you have 3 solid starters, and maybe you don't have to use your bullpen as much, but that bullpen is loaded. And then, oh, by the way, maybe you've got guys that they started off with this idea of getting guys that hit more doubles and singles and run the bases better, but it looks like to me in the fall they did all of that stuff. They hit home runs, they stole bases, they moved guys around. They look pretty solid defensively in the infield and even in the outfield. You just got, right now on paper, that team looks really good. But guess what? It's almost an SEC basketball scenario with baseball, because the SEC in baseball is loaded. I mean, there's just teams everywhere that have good players.
Well, all that is basketball has finally reached the level that baseball's been at for like 15 years now.
That's right. Exactly. And I'm thinking this year it may be even more. There may be even more good teams in baseball than we're used to. Not just 4 or 5, but maybe 7. We'll see how it goes. I mean, it may be that you try to win 2 out of 3 at home and then at least win 1 on the road, and then you're in pretty good shape. I think the goal they have this year, Phil, is to host a regional and get out of that regional and get into a super regional and get out of that super regional, and that's your road to Omaha. And then once you get to Omaha, it's just a whole new season when you get there. But you got to get there. You can't not get out of your own regional.
Mike, let's leave it there. I appreciate you hopping on. Thanks again for all these Monday visits. Have a great day.
Sure.
That's Mike Irwin from Pig Trail Nation with us on a Monday morning on Halftime. Well, it's freezing outside, but you always are craving something sweet and delicious. You can get over to Andy's Frozen Custard with their locations in Fort Smith on Rogers Avenue, Conway, East Oak Street, Dave Ward Drive, and in North Little Rock on JFK Boulevard. Yeah, I might ask about the Butter Pecan Concrete featuring Andy's Frozen Custard blended with butterscotch and roasted pecans, but how about the Jackhammers? James Brownie Funky Jackhammer. Won't get any better than that. It's going to make you dance. Andy's Frozen Custard blended with creamy peanut butter and brownies and then filled with hot fudge. It is the hardest working jackhammer at Andy's Frozen Custard. Walk up or drive through, always ready to serve you. And we're back to wrap up the first hour of halftime right after this.
Last issue. Chaz Michael Michaels is figure skating.
This is Halftime.
This is a public service announcement for hard seltzer lovers. Neutral Vodka Seltzer has arrived. Made with simple ingredients like vodka, seltzer, and real juice. Neutral tastes good. Like real good. So good that you'll never want to drink another artificial tasting seltzer again. Neutral's light and refreshing taste will show you what a vodka seltzer can be. Try Neutral, the one with the umlaut. Copyright 2023 Neutral Distilled Spirit Specialty, Los Angeles, California. Enjoy responsibly.
Old Man Winter is here, bringing cold, nasty weather. And Jelco Outdoors has all the gear to keep you warm and dry. Insulated coats, jackets, overalls, coveralls, thermal socks, and gloves for kids up to men's 4X. Jelco Outdoors has the largest selection of winter boots in the River Valley to keep your feet warm and dry. Need a portable heater? Jelco has plenty of Mr. Heater portable propane heaters and accessories. Come see us at Jelco Outdoors. Stay safe and stay warm this winter. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith, your cold weather store.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness.
Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. Whether you're buying a car, selling a car, or taking care of a car, we've got you. Be sure to follow us on Facebook to see how you can take advantage of $1,000 your way on select road-ready certified used cars with warranty, as well as buy 3, get 1 free on all tires in our Meineke Car Care Center. Start your new year right. Call, click, or come by today and see why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Are you in the market for a new office printer or multifunction device? Look no further. At Dixie Digital Imaging, we bring a legacy of experience and a rock-solid reputation. Our state-of-the-art solutions are tailored to meet your business needs seamlessly. Why settle for anything less? Call us now at 479-783-6600 to get a quote on your next office printer or multifunction device. Elevate your office efficiency with Dixie Digital Imaging, where experience and reputation meet excellence. That's Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
Hi, this is Truett Tollett with WT Equipment. We're here to help you get ready for the year ahead. Take advantage of our small engine shop special. Just $129 to service your mower or handheld equipment, any brand. Don't wait, this offer ends February 28th. While you're here, check out New Holland Tractors, Bobcat Equipment, and more. Tough, reliable, and ready to work as hard as you do. Visit any of our locations or online at WTEquip.com. WT Equipment. Equip your future, elevate your potential.
Harry Douglas here, and if you're constantly on the go like I am, then earbuds are a priority. That's why you need Technique's new noise-canceling AZ80s. Like you, these buds work as hard as they play. You'll get Technique's legendary high-res audio, along with state-of-the-art noise cancellation, so you can stay in your zone. Visit us.techniques.com/sports to shop for AZ80s now. That's us.technics.com/sports.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird, Limbird Real Estate Group, has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
3 up, 3 down in about 20 minutes. Later on, we'll double check and see if I've come up with a decent nickname for our buddy here, C Unit, during our halftime homework episodes for this week, because his assignment has been to eat an entire box of grape nuts.
It's on its way.
Not at once. You actually bought this from Amazon, didn't you? Of course you did.
No, it's coming to the station.
Oh, all right, very good.
I'm going to try to do it live on the air, but I can do it before if I need to.
I like it.
You're going to do it live on the air? Or you're going to need people to put in earplugs?
I'll witness it.
Well, I'll turn the mic off, but they can see me indulge.
Okay, that's good, because if you're eating grape nuts, I mean, you're eating grape nuts onto a microphone that's going through a 4-station radio network. People's windows in their cars are going to shatter. So don't do this. Also,
is he
your
allowed
nickname,
to add honey, agave?
No, I'm gonna put milk. Is that okay?
Is he allowed to add sugar?
Not on the
or
first
is he
bowl.
just
okay. No milk.
First bowl, you got to actually taste it as God meant it to be tasted. Then you can put in whatever sweetening accoutrements you want to put in there. By the way, your nickname for the week will be C Real. That'll just be the one for you. By the way, the Arkansas Northwest Magic and Miracles Radiothon is Friday, February 21st. All of our shows on ESPN Arkansas will be broadcasting live on location during the event. We're going to be helping raise funds and support for Arkansas Children's Northwest's next round of expansion at hitthatline.com. You can go to the page right now, and the links are up. And we actually are doing it's supposed to be a friendly competition. I don't know how friendly it actually has to be. We could be mean and nasty about it, I guess, between all the shows, depending on how everybody talks about everybody. So you just go to the hitthatline.com website. If you scroll to the top, you'll see Children's Northwest Media Marathon. Down near the bottom of that page are all the links for Chuck and Bo, Morning Rush, Halftime, and Ruskin and Zet. Yes, there are other shows on this station than this one you're listening to. And you can click on Halftime and donate, and then, well, we don't get any of the money, but we do get all the credit. Well, you get some of the credit, too. And thanks to Schlotzsky's for being the presenting sponsor for Halftime for the Miracles and Magic Radiothon. Schlotzsky's is a mouthful and the perfect partner for your event catering needs. Again, that's at hitthatline.com. We got this going for the next month. And then Friday, February 21st, live on location, every one of our shows at Arkansas Children's Northwest Magic and Miracles Radiothon. All right, we got another couple of hours here on Halftime coming up in just a bit. 3 up, 3 down, and we don't have any guests during hour number 3, so where are you in terms of, well, let me ask this question with just detailing to you how I watched the Arkansas basketball game on Saturday, because you had the Rams-Eagles going on at the same time. That was on the big screen. My daughter is addicted to the NFL, so we had the NFL game up. I had the basketball game on my iPad on the kitchen counter. I'm trying to watch two things at once. At some point in the second half, the sound on the iPad went down, and I wasn't watching it as closely because it just wasn't fun. How are you watching Arkansas basketball if you are watching Arkansas basketball? Or you got any thoughts on this championship game tonight? Does Notre Dame have a shot as banged up as they are? Well, they've certainly looked good over the first 3 rounds. We're open in the next segment, so get with us. Again, the number is 877-377-6963, and that's right. Charlie already called, so he's not calling in the next segment. It's up to you, and we're right back after this.
Up to $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Remodeling your bathroom? Don't let your imagination be limited by out-of-the-box shower doors or tub enclosures. Arkansas Glass and Mirror is your local source for all things glass, including plexiglass, mirrors, and shower doors since 1964. Arkansas Glass and Mirror has more selections, better prices, and the experience to help you build the shower of your dreams. They also have the only showroom in the area to help you create those dreams. Professional installation and professional service. Only at Arkansas Glass and Mirror, 1316 South Zero, Fort Smith, or online at arkansasglassandmirror.com.
It's Todd Richardson with owner and operator Cecil Gardner with Jasco Graphics, now 17 years in the industry. What all y'all service here at Jasco?
Logos, we do food trucks, cars, we do custom banners, signs for big and small businesses. We do logos, stickers, you name it, we just about do it all right here at Jasco. Jasco Graphics Design, 2415 Midland. It's on the corner of Midland and Kelly. Jasco Graphics, the one-stop shop.
Looking to boost your health and feel your best? Elite Wellness and Aesthetics in Fort Smith is here to help. Starting at only $200 a month, semaglutide and tirzepatide are weight loss shots that can kickstart your journey to a healthier, more confident you. And with Elite's hormone therapy treatments, you can restore balance, energy, and vitality. Take control of your health today with Elite Wellness and Aesthetics. 479-242-9355 to schedule your appointment or visit FortSmithElite.com. Elite Wellness and Aesthetics, getting to know you inside and out.
Has your spouse suddenly entered the transfer portal, going from a franchise player to a prima donna ready to take the money and run? Don't let her get away with a huge buyout. Be proactive and Call Mock Legal Solutions today to ask about custody, alimony, and child support. 479-769-1505. Because even in divorce, the best offense is a good defense. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price.
I think we should start seeing other people.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, partly to mostly cloudy skies. Our high temperatures this afternoon in the middle to upper 20s. Mostly cloudy skies tonight. A few flurries possible. And overnight low will drop down into the middle teens. Sunny skies. A high in the mid-20s north. Low 30s south on Tuesday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. KERX Paris Fort Smith. You're listening to ESPN 95.3.
Wagner paints.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect it. Oh, ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
People said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
What ain't but one racerback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
And back on halftime, 1 minute after 12 noon. You're listening to ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, and the Hit That Line Now app. I'm Phil Elson. My partner is Matt Jones, and Christian Johnston is in the producer's chair. And I just texted our friend, Dr. Charlie Liggett, Matt. I asked him, are we calling you? Are you in studio today? And he said he is going to be on the phone from Jamaica. So I don't know if I want to talk to him now. Yeah, I don't really need to be talking to anybody that can be on a beach with a boat drink or a red stripe, which is one of my favorites. And
we noticed 3-ups.
Some Jamaican jerk. That's right. I know. Yeah, automatically he's going to be one of my downs just for actually doing a segment while he's on vacation, for crying out loud.
Pretty cool, man. It's a pretty neat deal going down there and helping out and then getting to spend a little time in Jamaica. It's pretty cool. Have you ever been to Jamaica? I've never been down there.
Never been? Nope. Have not been to Jamaica. Never visited. Never even had a thought of, you know what, I think we're going to plan a trip to Jamaica, and ended up doing something else. So maybe that should be so. I don't know how high up on the list it needs to be, but it certainly should be on
about the
food.
list. The food in Jamaica, I've heard, is pretty good.
Just the food, right? That's the only thing that's very good in Jamaica. The music too, right? Yeah. Nothing else that we can get to here specifically. Open for you right now if you want. 877-377-6963. Here on a day where college football is going to be crowning a national champion. The Texas Longhorns are re-signing Steve Sarkisian to a 7-year extension. I think they raised him after last year and moving into the SEC. Both teams that moved into the SEC gave their coaches extensions, and obviously for Texas it worked to where they nearly had a shot to play for the national title. Oklahoma finishing 6-6 regular season. Sark's 38-17 at Texas, and back-to-back visits to the CFP is nothing to sneeze at. But you know what it's like, Matt. It's like if you reach that close to the promised land, sooner or later you're expected to get there, and you're still not quite there yet. But I know they'll have another good team coming up. That's for sure.
Man, it's going to be the Manning years. You think he leads them to the promised land? I mean, Texas, you just know how much talent they have. There's so much talent on that roster, and then the gauntlet that's what's called the SEC. But Texas get the same schedule they had last year. Their schedule wasn't that tough. I think Texas will win 10 games again next year, at least.
Well, we'll be making the visit next year as well. I hadn't looked and saw who their non-conference opponent is next year. Is it Ohio State? Are they actually playing Ohio State next year? I thought that might have been on the schedule, but that'd be interesting to have a rematch. In fact, yes. And then they open up at Ohio State. There it is. How about that? First game of the year will be a rematch, and that's something.
No way.
Yeah. What did I remember? Arkansas finished, what was the 2000 season in the Vegas Bowl against UNLV, and then opened the next season against UNLV in, I think, Little Rock. So this that'll be in Columbus. That's interesting. Then they get the return visit in Austin in 2026.
LSU usually opens up with somebody that's really tough. Florida State, USC. I just don't think it does you any favors if you're in the SEC to schedule a big body, to schedule a Power 5, a blue blood, a big-time team. I get it, competition, and as a fan, it's cool. But if you're an AD, if you're running an SEC program, I don't think it would. I think you're losing money. I mean, if you win it, yeah, it helps. But then all of a sudden you get an extra loss, and then now you're not in the playoff 12.
They play Michigan and Ohio State next year. That's 27.
No, they had Michigan the last 2 years.
Okay, 27. That's what it was.
But that's kind of an interesting way to schedule, getting the two arch rivals, one year after the other. But that's and I give credit to them for doing home and homes instead of these neutral site classic games. I do like the on campus games.
LSU opens with Clemson.
Well, that's going to be a neutral site, isn't it? Usually, it won't be playing those games on campus. And which place is Death Valley in that case?
No, they're playing at Clemson Memorial Stadium.
Really? Well, they are making the trip to Death Valley then. I wonder if that kind of changes, too, over the near future. A little bit more of the on-campus stuff. But, I mean, the Texas win over Michigan, I feel like, if you finish in a certain spot in the SEC, you make the championship game, yes, you're going to end up going to the college football playoff. But the Michigan win on the road was one of Texas's best wins of the year. So, I mean, they would have made it in just by making the SEC championship game, I think. But that was one of their best games. And they're I was reading this story, the ACC is considering changes to their conference championship game. And this would be drastic. The commissioner, Jim Phillips, stated potentially, and these are just some ideas I think that they're throwing to the wall and see how it sticks, giving the regular season champion a bye and actually crowning them regular season champions, and then your championship game would be between the second and third place teams to get a chance to make the playoff. Now, you're not going to do that in the SEC. I think in this case, it's the thought that ACC might be a little nervous that the second place team might not get a bid, considering what happened this last year with SMU. So, well, SMU did get the bid, but they didn't play like they deserved it necessarily. So, and the other idea would be having an ACC playoff of sorts, where the last week of the regular season would be the first round of the playoffs. You'd have the top 4 teams in the standings. One plays 4, 2 plays 3, and then the 2 winners play in the championship game the next week. So the ACC is trying to think, I guess you'd say outside the box in this case, because there is an agreement that the conference championships might not necessarily mean what they were expected to mean when it first came out 30 years ago, or even when we were doing a 14 playoff, and a lot of these games mattered as to who made it in.
So they're not going to change anything up this next year it'll be the same way that we did it this year, and then you think in the next year they'll change something up. Next year, Boise State's still going to be able to get a bye, right? Like teams like that.
Yeah. I mean, they're talking about tweaks. When you throw the word tweak, I don't know how drastic a change can be, but I might think that a tweak might be a group of 5 team getting a bye. That may be a tweak that they look to fix. But I don't know how many drastic changes there can be. But I think in a couple years, the playoff could look a little bit different. It's just, it feels right now where we're in this world where annually people are coming up with these ideas or that idea, league by league, conference by conference, to try to figure out what works for the long term. Because right now, nothing is long term. Everything is in the short term. I mean, you've got just another year left on the playoff agreement. The conferences don't know what they want to do with the championship games, but they know they want to have a championship game because of the money that's involved in it. So, I mean, it's like we will have this conversation again next year is what I feel, and then the year after, and then the year after, because it's a sport that's in constant flux. So just very odd stuff there. And also found it interesting that the Bears have interviewed. How many have they interviewed here? Chicago Bears, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. They have interviewed, to my count, 16 people for their head coaching job. Most recently, Eddie George, who is the head coach at Tennessee State University. But that's a lot of interviews, man. And I mean, guys that have Super Bowl championships, national championships, Super Bowl losses, secured number 1 seeds in their conference, and then some of the hot names in terms of the coordinators, and then been rebuffed by Pittsburgh because Chicago wanted to talk to Mike Tomlin, and the Steelers said no. So it's about as thorough as it gets, I guess. And sooner or later, you got to figure out who it is you're going to settle on sometime soon, because the combine's coming up in a little more than a month.
It's very interesting, speaking of Chicago, but how would, if you had the draft to do over again, do you think the Bears take Jaden Daniels, and where do you think Caleb Williams would have fell to?
That's such an interesting question. And I think it's tough to just revisit those things and say, well, would the Bears be good? Would the Bears have been in the position the Commanders are in if they just had drafted Jaden Daniels? Because there were some other changes they made as well, and the coach might have been one aspect of it. Had to have been at least a part of it. So I just, with the and the other thing too is like the Bears were and still seem like as dysfunctional of an organization as there is, and they might be near the bottom of the list along with the Jets. But who used to own the most dysfunctional franchise in the NFL? It was Washington. It was the Commanders under Dan Snyder. And I really feel like him selling the team is a reason why they are where they are right now. I mean, it happened just like that. It can't just be coincidental. And part of it is drafting Daniels and getting Quinn as your head coach. But I think it feels like it's a place where you could be proud to play, proud to work, and I don't think you could say that for a long time. I mean, Snyder's one of the worst owners in the history of the NFL, and won the offseason dozens and dozens of times and never won anything in the regular season. Quick break here on halftime. We got 3 up, 3 down with Dr. Charlie Liggett. Sorry about that. We got a bit of a lag, so I think we need to have the break, and then we'll do our 3 up, 3 down in a moment. So stay with us here on halftime.
McLovin? What kind of a stupid name is that, Fogel? What are you trying to be, an Irish R&B singer?
This is halftime. Courtside with Fort Smith Public Schools.
Pretty exciting. First time that we've done a podcast, and we're going to try to promote Fort Smith Public Schools, what we do, our basketball. At all.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakhalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite, white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, the NBA, and college basketball to NHL and UFC, head to BetOnline today and don't forget to use the promo code BELIEVE for your welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
Eat Lux your way with the new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes from Taco Bell. The $5 classic box is iconic all over. The $7 Supreme box has your decadent favorites and then some. The $9 Discovery box introduces you to your newest obsession, like cheesy dipping burritos. Introducing the new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes, only at Taco Bell.
In every generation, there are those who question the status quo. Questions like, why can't chicken be slow roasted? Why can't I have shredded purple cabbage? Why can't my quesadilla have cheese inside and out? And where's my avocado verde salsa? The new era of chicken is here to stay. The Cantina Chicken Menu, only at Taco Bell.
Hey, this is Dr. Charlie Liggett at River Valley Smile Center. You may know me as your local dentist, but I'm a giant Hogs, Dolphins, and college baseball fan as well. Listen to me, Phil, and Matt talk about our 3 ups and downs for the weekend every Monday on halftime at 12:15. At River Valley Smile Center, we're a comprehensive dental facility that offers children's dentistry, dental implants, sedation, whitening, and much, much more. Dr. Cole Johnson, Dr. Hannah Cabe, and myself are located at 8309 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. River Valley Smile Center. When you come here, you become family.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Dr. Charlie Liggett is with us for 3 Up, 3 Down. Dr. Liggett texted me earlier, and I'd forgotten. He told us last week that he was headed to Jamaica, but it is a working trip. He says no beaches for him, and I don't. Let me seriously, Dr. Liggett. Even if you're there working, am I really to believe that you are not going to go to the beach? Because I don't buy it.
Man, we are in Kingston, and there's not really very many beaches here to go enjoy. So we're just working.
Well, what is it that's going on there? What brought you to Jamaica, and why the trip?
So for the last 20 years, I've made 24 trips down here, and we have a whole team that comes with us, a whole lab team. We make dentures, and I pull the teeth, and then we put the teeth back in. So it's a really cool deal, and get to help a lot of people, and it's a lot of fun.
That's outstanding. Well, good. That's a great reason to make a trip to Jamaica or anywhere else. So Great work's done, Dr. Liggett. Thanks for that. All right, C. Real, go for it. Here's 3 up, 3 down.
For 3 up, 3 down. Presented by River Valley Smile Center with Dr. Charles Liggett.
Good morning, good afternoon, good night.
What does 3 up and 3 down mean to you, Airman?
End of an inning, strike 3.
Go to hockey for my first up. Capitals legend Alex Ovechkin last week scored his 874th goal off the 179th different goalie of his career. That is a record, not in terms of goals, but in terms of number of goalies you've scored against. He's 20 goals away from Wayne Gretzky's career record of 894, but he broke Jaromir Jagr's record of scoring against 178 goalies. 179 goalies is the record now. And just looking back on my favorite sport, and I always felt like this is one thing you can point to detail about different eras and how players might fit into certain eras. Babe Ruth hit a home run off of 216 different pitchers. Hank Aaron hit a home run off of 310 different pitchers, and Barry Bonds homered off of 449 different pitchers. That's more than twice the number of pitchers that Babe Ruth hit a home run against. Now, it's not quite the same with Ovechkin and Gretzky, but I think that perspective helps a little bit, at least in the baseball term. Speaking of baseball, my first down goes to the team that I absolutely love to hate, the team I grew up with in the Steel City, the Pittsburgh Pirates. Over the weekend had their Pirate Fest, and I just don't really think they should be doing this any longer because it's not a franchise that is celebrated in the city where it sits. This is what happened at Pirate Fest. There were sell the team chants while the owner was doing a Q&A. The questions started with, are you going to lock up Skeens and O'Neill Cruz or trade them for hot garbage like we always do? That is a word-for-word question from a fan. They actually sold expired Mountain Dew at the event. There was a photo from the event of a bottle of Mountain Dew that expired December of 2024, and they had Andrew McCutcheon up there on a podium signing autographs and talking to fans, and they misspelled his name. He's only one of the greatest players in the history of the franchise, and his name actually has an H in it, but the placard did not have an H in it. So it's just more evidence why the Pirates are an utter freaking joke. Matt, you're up.
First class or no class, I love it, Pittsburgh. My first up goes to Liverpool. They had to travel to Brentford, and Darwin Nunez scored in stoppage time in the 91st.
Oh, I think we're getting some problems with Matt's connection on his remote unit. So while we're figuring that out, Dr. Liggett, why don't you go ahead with your first up and your first down, and we'll try to work on Matt's connection. And if it doesn't work, I'll just go with my second one. Dr. Liggett, what do you got first?
Okay, my first up and down are kind of together. So my first down is Bob Uecker passing. My first up is what an awesome guy Bob Uecker was. I mean, I have a good friend of mine, Fort Smith native Daniel DeMonazert. He was a former Hog bullpen catcher, and now he's the assistant manager for the Brewers. And he told me that Uecker had a locker in the clubhouse, and he'd come down almost every day and hang out with them. And I mean, what better way to live out your last days hanging out with the team you love in your hometown? And man, I just can't think of a better way to go.
You know, Charlie, I was listening last week. Chuck and Bo had Taylor McGregor on, who, of course, has been doing sidelines in college football, and but is also on the Marquee Sports Network as the field reporter for the Cubs television broadcast, and does a great job. And I loved her talk. She didn't really know who Bob Uecker was until she met him at a Brewers Cubs series, and they ended up becoming really close. And I've heard this kind of story about Uecker for going on the last 15, 20 years now. One of my friends, Jeff Levering, who's come on this show before, was Uecker's partner over the last 10 years. And he's like 60 years younger than Uecker, but the two of them were almost like brothers. And I think I heard a lot of stories about that kind of relationship with Uecker and younger people around the game. And I just think that had to give him so much energy, because I also don't think that a
Well, it
lot of
had
old
to.
school guys, and the nitty gritty guys who were back in the days in the 50s and the 60s, would even might sometimes get a little crotchety about it. That's not the case with Euchre. He just seemed to be energized by all the youth around him, and I think we can appreciate somebody like that.
Oh, and my favorite line from any movie, it's right around the time when he says, "Just a little bit outside." He just kind of under his breath, he throws another pitch way outside, and he says, "Tried for the corner and missed."
Tried the corner and missed. That's right. All right, so that's a good one. Matt, do we have you back?
Hey.
Nah, not really. Sometimes there's goblins in the ether. And I've experienced that before, so I know that's really frustrating for Matt.
So I'm across the ocean, and I'm having no problems with my connection, and Matt can't get his working.
Go figure, right? Yeah, you try to figure these things out. It doesn't make a lot of sense. All right, I'll go with my second up then, and it's the Los Angeles Dodgers for apparently not having a limit on their credit card. It says the amount of money that the Dodgers are spending on these free agents is amazing. Now, they just signed this Roki Sasaki to a 6-year minor league deal. Now, he's only getting like an $8.9 million bonus, which comparatively to some of the other players is literal pennies. But he's 23, and you got to be 25 years old to come out of Japan and sign a major league contract. So he chose the Dodgers, of course. The Dodgers rotation is going to be absolutely just ridiculous. Truthfully, the Dodgers could be at a place where they set a record for regular season wins with a rotation that could be Blake Snell, Yamamoto, Tyler Glasnow, Ohtani, Sasaki, and Tony Gonsolin, and then there's a bunch of other pitchers that they have potentially if somebody gets hurt, and then maybe Clayton Kershaw if he re-signs. It's just absolutely craziness. But they're doing it in a way where they have over $1 billion deferred. It's like this is all a credit card. I don't know. I don't think it's actually like a credit card because it's not accruing interest. But at some point, the piper comes home, and I don't know. I mean, who knows? Maybe the Dodgers end up stringing together some world championships. It looks like they're poised to make a run, but in 15, 20 years, it could lead to some sort of financial ruin for this franchise.
Is Ohtani 100%?
I don't know if he's going to pitch in their opening series in Japan, but he'll be back to pitch at some point. And the other aspect, too, is there's no pressure on him to come back and pitch. It's not like they necessarily need it, because look at the other pitchers they have. So just kind of
no kidding.
Absolute wildness. All right, second down is just to have the college football championship on January the 20th. We use the word traditional with college football more so than probably any other sport. And I appreciate the thought that we played quarterfinal games on January 1st. But get the championship back closer to New Year's. There is no reason for a college football season that starts in late August. And I don't care there's just 2 teams out of 131 or however many. There's no reason for the season to last this long. January 20th is too late. Move it back a couple of weeks. That's my complaint. All right, let's see what's next.
Oh, am I up or Matt up?
Yeah, you can go, Dr. Liggett.
Okay, my next up is Dan Quinn's defense and Jaden Daniels. Daniels completed 12 of 16 attempts against the blitz for 191 yards and a touchdown, which is the second most yards versus a blitz by a rookie since 2016. I mean, they're going to be tough to beat. They look pretty tough. I mean, can you think of a better rookie quarterback? Maybe Stroud, RG3, Russell Wilson, Cam.
No.
I agree.
Yeah, no, I can't remember any. Has there been a rookie that has quarterbacked the team to a championship? I think Roethlisberger did in his rookie year, but they got smoked by the Pats, and he wasn't the starter all year long. Remember, Tommy Maddox got hurt like 3 or 4 games in. This has been Jaden Daniels' team from the word go,
and he's winning games all kinds of ways. Winning close games at the end, and I mean. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, amazingly impressive. All right, I got a third up. and this is to Vanderbilt basketball. You know, there's no team in Nashville that probably, just for Vanderbilt fans, is more hated than Tennessee. And they beat Tennessee twice by 1 point over the weekend. The men's team beat the Vols in a huge upset, 76-75, and then yesterday Vanderbilt's women's team beat Tennessee 71-70. It's just got to be a big-time atmosphere inside Memorial Gymnasium, which is one of the weirdest places I've ever been for basketball, but weird in a good way. And that's where Arkansas's women's team will play Thursday against the Commodores. So I'll go up for Vandy because I didn't want to go to Arkansas basketball in any aspect of this 3 up, 3 down. And that also means, Dr. Liggett, my third down has nothing to do with Arkansas basketball or Arkansas athletics. It's to your brother for giving up a home run to Albert Pujols back in West Ark days. What was with that?
So Travis said that he threw him a first pitch splitter and made him just look stupid, just screwed himself into the ground, looked terrible. So he went back to the splitter, screwed himself into the ground again, looked terrible down 0-2. Then he thought he'd try to put a fastball past him. So he put a 88-mile-an-hour fastball up high, and that ball is still going.
It's just there's a very lengthy list of pitchers throughout the throughout that 30-year period or so that would have said to themselves, "I'm gonna try to sneak a fastball past Pujols here." That's really funny to think he could do that.
You know, he's playing shortstop back then.
I thought he was a third baseman, but I knew he played left side of the infield and came up to the Cardinals as a third baseman. I didn't know he played shortstop though.
At least that game he was playing short.
That's super cool. Well, here's the thing. It's like, if you got tackled by a Hall of Famer in high school or gave up a bomb to a Hall of Famer in JUCO days, for one, there just aren't a lot of Hall of Famers that played junior college ball. And then you get to brag. It's like, yeah, I might have actually gotten him out another time, but I just didn't throw the right pitch.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. What do you got for number 3?
Okay, so my third is Akira Nugent and Corey Jones. They're two Jamaicans that competed in the Arkansas Invitational track and field. They both got wins, and Nugent won the 60-meter. She ran a 7.35, and Corey Jones won the shot put at 17.28. I thought throwing a little Jamaican twist there while I'm down here.
That's yeah, and hey, isn't the world champion or the Olympic gold medalist Roger Stona from Jamaica too, and discus throw?
Yeah,
and a Razorback as well, who I think is he's part of the international. I forget the name of the NFL organization that focuses on international players and their opportunities, and it looks like Stoner's going to see if football could be his next stop. So he certainly has the body type for it, and an Olympic champion. I don't see why it wouldn't potentially work for him. That's really cool. Anything else, Dr. Liggett, you got?
Yeah, my third down, probably the last one of the year about the Dolphins, but with the Washington win, the Dolphins now have the worst drought of 32 seasons without a conference championship appearance. So that just means that next year is our year. I've been saying that for quite a while.
I was going to say
that. But on the positive side, for all the Tua fans out there, in 2022 he had the number 1 passer rating. In 2023, he was number 1 in passing yards, and in 2024 last year he was number 1 in completion percentage. So at least a few years back we were at a Dolphins game, and they were struggling. It was during the Chad Morris days as well, and one of my daughters looked at me, and Dolphins were getting beat, and she said, "Can we just start rooting for different teams, please?" And I said, "No, absolutely not. That's not even an option."
Yeah, even when you come to a point where you feel you want to search for another team, it's impossible for me to ever come across somebody that I could actually really root for. All right, that's good stuff.
Brian from Ozark, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, I'm not going to root for Texas in any shape or form. It just isn't going to happen. Our 3 Up, 3 Down presented by River Valley Smile Center and Dr. Charlie Liggett. They have everything you need for bright and healthy teeth, and there's a reason that they've won River Valley's Best of the Best 8 years in a row. And of course, Dr. Liggett, we're going into Jamaica and working as you are for this trip. I mean, I think that says a lot about your organization's beliefs, because this is not a money-making trip for you.
Not a money-making trip, but it sure is fulfilling. My wife comes with us too. She's a hygienist, and we have a whole hygiene team, and it's so much fun. I mean, just seeing how happy these people are that, many of them have never seen a dentist before, and getting them out of pain, getting them some new teeth. It's pretty special.
Go give River Valley Smiles a visit in Fort Smith. Call 479-646-0706 or go to rivervalleysmiles.com. Doc, it can take us home.
Well, come see us at River Valley Smile Center. I'll be back next week. When you come here, your family, go Hogs.
Back next week with a tan, and halftime is right back after this.
The Jerk Store called. They're running out of you.
This is Halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line Now.
We all make plans for the future, like car accidents, break-ins, and unexpected fires can disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design insurance plans that work for you and help protect what matters most. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call Wade Gilkey or Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell. This is Halftime. ESPN Arkansas is proud to partner with Arkansas Children's Northwest for the Miracles and Magic Mediathon. Together, we can make a difference for local kids. Every donation directly supports the expansion of Arkansas Children's Northwest. A big thank you to our presenting sponsors, Crabtree RV Center in Alma. Visit crabtreerv.com. Heartland Honda Power Sports and Marine in Springdale. Adventure starts here. And Schlotzsky's, the perfect partner for your event catering needs. Donate now at hitthatline.com and let's make a difference together.
Let me grab my car keys and we'll roll.
We still going to that new bar downtown?
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. Lexi, give me driving directions from home to downtown Bar District.
Autocorrect. Suggest Uber. Pick up, home. Drop off downtown Bar District.
No, I'm driving.
Suggest the Metro bus. Departing in 12 minutes.
Point taken, Lexi. We'll grab a ride.
If you drink, don't drive. Decide to ride. Brought to you in partnership by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and Uber.
Metal Mart offers high-quality prefabricated metal buildings, metal roofing, custom trim shop, carports, and more. They strive to be a company where contractors as well as do-it-yourselfers are welcome. Metal Mart assists you in calculating the materials needed to complete your project, all at a rate you can afford. Stop by 7320 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith or call 648-3342. You can also catch them online at metalmarts.com. Metal Mart, the right material for the right price.
Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing on all 2024 Buick Encore GXs at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Encore GX is a boldly styled 5-person SUV that is ready to reward. Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing for well-qualified buyers. This is a limited time offer. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith and online at harryrobinson.com.
It's Ty Richardson with owner and operator Cecil Gardner with Jasco Graphics, now 17 years in the industry. Cecil, this is the one-stop shop.
Yes, Jasco Graphics Design, the one-stop shop, 2415 Midland, for your custom or buck order.
Why ESPN 95.3?
I really enjoy listening in, and it keeps my day going while I'm at work. Jasco Graphics Design, 2415 Midland. It's on the corner of Midland and Kelly. Jasco Graphics, the one-stop shop.
Watch every Hog game this season at Joe's Grill and Cantina, your home for half-price apps and taps during every Hog game. With TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat for all the action. Half-price appetizers like Joe's Sampler Platter, Ballpark Nachos, 10-layer dip, brisket nachos, and Mexican pizza. And ask about Joe's tailgate packages to make your football experience even better in the comfort of your home. Half-price apps and taps for every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Running to the church, you gotta get back. You're gonna miss the show. You're sitting in the front row.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
At the end of the day, after all of this, the loss today, I still, I love the guys and I respect them and I appreciate everything they put into it. But it's not the time to talk about what a great year or how many went. It just, it's because at this moment, I don't think any of us feel that way. The whole point of doing what you do is to get to the show, man. That's why you play this game. And we fell short.
Stan Campbell, after the crushing loss to the Commanders in the divisional playoffs this past weekend, and it's now that's franchise. Matt, remember, hasn't won a championship since '57, has never been in a Super Bowl. I think they've only been to one conference championship game, or two conference championships, and now it's an organization that's in that spot where the fun of becoming relevant is over, and now you got to win postseason games. You got to get to a Super Bowl. Now that's a fun team to watch. That's a great franchise, and obviously it's a hungry fan base because the atmosphere inside Ford Field looks like it's I can't say second to none because Arrowhead is crazy, but it's you can hear where they are. It's almost like. Where I feel like it's where Arkansas baseball is too. There'll be a lot of hype about the Lions coming into next season. A lot of it. This is the same with the Ravens. Nobody will want to hear that kind of stuff because they'll believe what they see in January, just like Arkansas baseball fans don't want to hear about Gackelin being a preseason league pitcher of the year. At some point, the success of the regular season becomes tiresome for people, and you want to see postseason success. And maybe that's where the Lions are at the moment, but it's only been a couple of years that they've been this good.
Man, they're in a tough division. Did you see that second quarter? There was 42 points scored. It's the most ever in a playoff game in one quarter. The turnovers kind of hurt them, and then also, Phil, I know we bring this up and. It is a war of attrition. They had 13 guys that would be playing in that starting rotation on defense that they lost to the IR. I mean, that's just that's such a hard number to come back from. And you could see they had to play perfect as far as no turnovers, and they didn't. And they let one. Last year would have been the one that hurt, when they had that lead over San Francisco coming out, and then it still hurts. Don't get me wrong, but man, that was tough for Detroit.
Detroit had been in that place where I just think it's difficult to routinely need 36 to 40 points to win a football game. Now, before all the injuries took away the strength of their defense, I mean, they were destroying teams. I mean, they were winning by 35, by 40 points. That is obviously not the team that they went into the playoffs with. So war of attrition, I know, and always next man up and those cliches that have the nuggets of truth in them. It's just at some point, your next man up is your third man at that spot or your fourth or fifth man at that spot, and things just aren't quite the same. 5 turnovers, though, and it's like, well, it's not like Jared Goff was hurt. Goff is one of the main reasons that Detroit is where they are. But he's also a main reason why they lost yesterday's game. And when you play that position, you know the game is going to be on you. Here's Jared Goff after a 3-interception performance.
All year.
Yeah.
Can you even fathom where it came from, how it came about, with everything seemed just a little bit off? Or...
Just crap, man. I wish I had an answer for you. It just sucks. Yeah, I wish I could have played a little bit better. Wish I could have taken care of the ball a little bit better. The one, obviously the pick 6 is really the one I'd really like back. That was just a poor decision by me. The other ones are just, sometimes part of the game. And but yeah, it's on me. I got to take care of it better, and certainly would have given ourselves a better chance to win had I done that.
It's difficult to figure it out. It's like I can't tell you why Lamar Jackson has as many games in the postseason as he does in his regular season career with an interception and a fumble. Doesn't make sense. I mean, some people would point to Goff and say, like, well, that's the reason why the Rams traded him to begin with. That's the reason potentially why, Detroit may have lost last year. But I see Goff as a guy that, for a good chunk of the season I thought was an MVP candidate. He's a reason they're there. That's not a team that's going to be making a change. But sometimes you just end up playing a bad game in the playoffs, and it can be as simple as that. I think I might have lost Matt once again. Yeah, it looks like we lost Matt on our connection here. So, yeah, it's like you try to look for answers. Why is Arkansas basketball struggling as mightily as they are? With all the things that we've hit on in terms of the construction of the roster, you still shouldn't be 0-5 in this league. I don't think there's a doubt that they should not be 0-5. It's just there aren't answers to a lot of these questions. So it ends up becoming the thing that you shrug your shoulders about and trying to move on about. And next up for Arkansas as well, another game coming up against Georgia on Wednesday. And, yeah, that absolutely turns into as must-win of a game as it gets. If you're at a place where you're wondering if they can make the NCAA tournament, you don't beat Georgia on Wednesday, I don't think it's going to happen because you got to get, if the floodgates open at some point, if it's a matter of one win leads to the next and then hopefully you're on a run, well, getting that one win seems to be the big bugaboo for Arkansas basketball. Halftime, as always, brought to you by LearNet.com. If you're looking to get your favorite lures from Pradco at the click of a button, LearNet.com not only has brands such as Rebel, Yum, Booyah, and more, but the site also includes exclusive deals and baits that you're not going to find anywhere else. Free shipping for all U.S. orders over $35 at LearNet.com. Check it out today. And we're back to wrap up the second hour of halftime right after this.
Hey, it's Enrico Palazzo! This is halftime. The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Whether it's torque, horsepower, or just extreme work, diesel trucks do their job. But when your diesel truck needs maintenance or repair, it's time to head to Extreme Diesel. Everything from standard maintenance to extreme repairs, including injector testing. Extreme Diesel delivers. They have the tools and service for your Cummins, Duramax, or Power Stroke. You trust your truck to deliver on your needs, and you can trust your truck at Extreme Diesel. 6630 Alma Highway between Van Buren and Alma. Check them out on Facebook or give them a call at 651-3363. They're bilingual, now offering CP4 solutions for both Chevy and Ford.
Come get you some. 2728 Townsend Avenue is your off-road and performance center headquarters. They've got everything from lift kits, wheels, LED light bars, UTV parts and accessories, winches and tires. Need general 4x4 repair? No problem. Come get you some has one of the largest 4x4 shops in the States. They do it all, from installing a bug shield to building some of the baddest off-road machines in the country. Call them today at 782-6833. That's 782-MUD. Or check them out online at cgysoffroad.com. Come get you some.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at Dozy Place. Start with delicious appetizers and your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Dozy Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended, so call 784-9111. 784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the 3rd time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
He stood there bright as the sun on that California coast. He was a Midwestern boy on his own. She looked at him with those soft eyes so innocent and blue. He knew right then he was too far from home.
Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
All right, wrapping up our second hour here on Halftime. Got some birthdays to get to. Matt, one of your former teammates at Arkansas, Ken Hamlin, has a birthday today. He is 44 years old.
Hammer.
Yeah, that is exactly right. David Eckstein has a birthday today, former Angels and Cardinals shortstop. Nick Foles has a birthday. He was born in 1989. Tyler Harrow turns 25 today. Hall of Fame center Mark Stepnoski. Is he in the Hall? I think he is. Ozzie Guillen, former White Sox shortstop. He's the only White Sox manager to win a World Series in a long, long time. And hasn't been managing a team for a while either. So those are some of the sports birthdays to get to. And in terms of some of the Well, I would say Hollywood birthdays or just entertainment birthdays. Paul Stanley from Kiss, 73. Bill Maher turned 69. I'm sure he's excited about that birthday. Lorenzo Lamas is 67. I had no idea that he was the voice of an alien in Phineas and Ferb. Rainn Wilson is 59 years old from The Office fame. Stacey Dash, gosh, this is one that makes you feel old. Of course, you remember the movie Clueless. Stacey Dash is 58. Still looks like she's 20. She looked like she was 20 in the movie when she played a 16-year-old, so go figure how those things work. And Questlove, the musician, 54 years old. Yeah, looks like January 20th. It's a pretty good day for birthdays. And a happy MLK Day to those, to everybody, really. Literally everybody. We had Cabbage Head call in from the parade earlier today, and thinking about just trying to treat people with respect and treat people like you would treat anybody else, as long as they treat you with respect as well. And it's a very interesting day for some of the confluences of things coming together. That's for sure. All right, we got our second hour of halftime wrapping up here. And hour number 3 does not have anybody, no guests. It is just you and us. So there'll be a lot of time to get with us. Calls and texts at 877-377-6963. And I think we've figured out a situation with Matt's lag, so we'll have him on the phone, which might make it a little difficult to take calls in the next hour. We can do it. We can certainly do that. Our programming tonight, I believe we've got the John Calipari radio show later this evening. That should be usually 7 o'clock is when it starts. So that might cut into the broadcast of the college football playoff championship game that ESPN does carry. So we'd be joining that in progress once the Coach Cal radio show is complete. 6:30 kickoff on ESPN TV tonight. And I don't think this is one of those games that's broadcast simultaneously on ESPN and ABC, which all of the NFL playoff games have been, but it doesn't appear that that's going to be on ABC, at least on the ESPN website. It just says it's on their ESPN network. And 8.5-point favorite for Ohio State. I think Ohio State wins this game. I think they're going to cover. And I hope you don't see a game that gets out of hand. It's just with the way Ohio State has been playing, with some of the injuries for Notre Dame, I think it'll be a little bit difficult for the Fighting Irish to keep up offensively with Ohio State. I think we may have a good first half, but I think the Buckeyes will run away with it in the second half. What do you think about it? Let us know. We'll have calls and texts in hour number 3, so stay with us. You're on a very freezing cold Monday on halftime.
Old Man Winter is here, bringing cold, nasty weather. And Gelco Outdoors has all the gear to keep you warm and dry. Insulated coats, jackets, overalls, coveralls, thermal socks, and gloves. For kids, up to men's 4X. Gelco Outdoors has the largest selection of winter boots in the River Valley to keep your feet warm and dry. Need a portable heater? Gelco has plenty of Mr. Heater portable propane heaters and accessories. Come see us at Gelco Outdoors. Stay safe and stay warm this winter. Gelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith, your cold weather store.
Walk-Ons is always a win, whether it's for a post-game celebration, drinks with the crew, or an easy weeknight dinner. Walk-Ons has you covered. Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers and cocktails. Dig into their mouth-watering menu items like po' boys, gumbo, and voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads. Find your nearest location in Rogers, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Conway, and Little Rock, or order online or in the app. Walk-On Sports Bistro for the win.
Ty Richardson. We're live here at First Financial Mortgage. I'm here with my friend Ethan Adamson. Ethan, I know I probably texted you 100 times during this process, man. I didn't know what I was doing. Luckily, you did.
Yeah, Ty. It was always great working with you. Glad we could help you get closed. A good loan officer is someone who can answer questions after hours, before hours, and be available when you're needed. We get pre-qualifications in, get buyers pre-qualified so they can search for homes and get them closed quick. Call 479-782-9300. Weekdays 8 to 5. FFB1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing on all 2024 Buick Encore GXs at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Encore GX is a boldly styled 5-person SUV that is ready to reward. Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing for well-qualified buyers. This is a limited time offer. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith and online at harryrobinson.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, partly to mostly cloudy skies. Our high temperatures this afternoon in the middle to upper 20s. Mostly cloudy skies tonight. A few flurries possible. And overnight low will drop down into the middle teens. Sunny skies. A high in the mid-20s north. Low 30s south on Tuesday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't be a smart aleck like that.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect it. Ask me if I'm all right. Well, kids they dominate, and we not doing it.
We're gonna go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. My heart, dog. Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
What they for one race back?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Welcome back. 1 minute after 1 o'clock afternoon, sun shining brightly, but still freezing cold all across the natural state. This is halftime. You're listening to ESPN Arkansas. HitThatLine.com and the Hit That Line Now app. I'm Phil Elson with Matt Jones. Matt's on the phones, and Christian Johnston in the producer's chair. No guests in this final hour, so it is just you and it is us. And we got a college football championship game coming up later tonight, 6:30 kickoff. I got the John Calipari radio show as well tonight. Basketball on Wednesday for the Razorbacks, taking on Georgia. This would be, I guess, the next of the must-win games until you finally do win a ball game. Women's team is headed out to Nashville Wednesday, take on Vanderbilt Thursday. I wonder what the crowd will be like. Bud Walton, after back-to-back road losses and, of course, an 0-5 start. Late tip-off Wednesday night against a Georgia team that has a couple of conference wins. And then you get Oklahoma on Saturday at night as well. Matt, I remember thinking, and not just thinking, knowing that the season tickets had been sold out, that the excitement around Arkansas basketball was at, I feel like an historic level outside of winning a national championship or making it to the Final Four in April with the news of John Calipari being hired. I would not have expected to be thinking what the atmosphere is going to be like inside Bud Walton Arena after you've played your first 5 conference games. Because I would have thought that the place would be absolutely rocking. But now I'm just wondering, how cold is the place going to be? That's what stood out to me yesterday doing the women's game, aside from playing Alabama, as you walked in and somebody left the door open. It was freezing inside Bud Walton Arena. I know they paid the heat bill, but you get more people in there and it'll get a little bit warmer, and you gotta win. You gotta win. Matt, I mean, is it okay to call Wednesday must win?
Well, you don't want it to slip away from you, and that's what we're in danger of having this basketball season do. I like what I saw out of Big Z. Maybe he's getting healthy. What do you think we need? I mean, he started Trevin Brazile, and former Missouri guy, so you kind of get that. And Brazile's been playing well, but what is the next move? What kind of puzzle piece? What do you think Coach can do? What should we try? Is it play zone? I mean, it's not like we turn the ball over a lot, but we don't hit shots, and we get out rebounded. It seems by everybody we play.
Well, and there always seems to be a half where things just seem easy for the opponent offensively. It's been the second half up until this last game against Mizzou, where the Tigers were on their way to 100 points with 52 in the first half and shooting over 50%. It's just, there's a lot to fix. You don't know, you don't have a consistent outside shot. Your ability to get to the rim sometimes isn't where you thought it might be. You don't necessarily have post presence, but then defensively, they're lapses. There are lapses at times. An 18-point run is all about a lapse or just coming out of the gates ice cold, and it just didn't really seem to make a lot of sense considering how poorly Arkansas had been playing over the first 4. And then, you get a dunk by Adu and then 18 straight points. It just, I wouldn't know where to go. And truthfully, I don't think Cal knows where to go. And that's, you look into the coach for the answers, but I'm just not sure if there are answers necessarily. Here are Cal's thoughts on the loss to Missouri.
We were leaving shooters. We had talked about how we're playing. They made every shot. We missed them all. But we get it to 10 with the ball, standing at that free throw line to make it 8. We're going to have a chance. And then, again, boom, boom, and then 2 turnovers. And then that's ball game. Yeah. I mean, and then in the end, they miss and get an offensive rebound. And all of a sudden, the next play they throw in, it's a 3 on us.
Well, I mean, in my mind, the game was over on the 18-point run. It's too much to come back from for a team that's struggling that much. And it showed some fight in a couple of moments here and there, but it'd be tough for anybody to come back from an 18-point run to start the game. But that game was over 5 minutes in, and that should not be happening.
And it was a tough watch. Hopefully this team can come together, and it takes one to get on a roll, to get something, to build something. So yeah, this is a must win as any must win. But I don't know. I don't see this team, even if they win one game. It's not like all of a sudden I think this team is going to make the NCAA tournament.
I just want to at least make it to where it can be enjoyable to watch. I love watching Arkansas basketball. Even in a year where you don't go to the tournament or don't go to the Elite Eight or a Sweet 16, I enjoy college basketball for a team that I have some emotional investment in. But it's not fun to watch. That's the thing. We're independent of making the tournament, because right now it just looks like an outside shot. Just at least feel that you finish the season on some sort of a strong note. I hate to think about this on January the 20th, because right now you should be, trying to worry about where you seed in your conference tournament. But right now Arkansas will be playing on the very first day. All right, we got Cecil who's given us a call, and let's figure out how we can do 2 callers at once. I don't think Matt will hear us, but we got Cecil right here. Cecil, thanks for calling. What's going on?
Must win Wednesday, Phil.
Yeah.
I hear you, Phil. I hear you. We must win. And as I've said, Phil, Matt, Big Z got to play, man. He's a difference maker. He's skinny, but he's a shot blocker, man. He's over 7 foot tall. He's long, and he can shoot. So, I mean, that's better than missing shots all the time, you know. And the way our season's going, let's just go watch the game and just hope for the best. And then when we win, and maybe we can keep winning. But, yeah, man, you know, like, I watched that game the other day, man. I'm just like, oh, here we go again. And I just kind of just was calm about the situation. But we're definitely young. But again, Phil, like I said before about being at the point, you got to get everybody involved. Big Z makes a big difference in the lineup. That's just the way it is. And you saw that in the last game. So I'm sure you want to play, and just let the man play, man. It's better than missing shots. It's better. Didn't he get a double-double? I'm sure he did.
He sure did.
Yeah,
it was
actually he's a double double man. 10 points, 10 rebounds. That's easy for him. He's good enough to do that. And so that's a plus for the points and the rebounds and stuff like that. You know, I think Boogie needs to assist more. You know, to give and go, he got to do that more. He just pulls up and takes jump shots, man. That ain't gonna get it. And then, regardless of, I don't know because I haven't Googled his stats, but I think he averaged I did see him flash up. He averaged 16 points a game or something like that. But look how many shots he's taking and missing, though. So I mean, that ain't nothing. That ain't nothing because you can't win a game. When we go out there, you go out there to win. You don't just go out there to, okay, I'm trying to get to the league. Let me average 16, 17 points. I can get in there. You can average 12 points now and you can average 10 points and get drafted these days because they draft all potentials. But I just hope we just get better, man. You know, I ain't giving up on us. We just need to, when we get in there, we need to play hard. Like you play hard when there's 3-4 minutes left in the game. Play hard the whole game. Play hard the whole game like we behind 15. And maybe that'll make a change. But Coach definitely need to, you know, get Big Z in the game. And I think Brazil need to play more too, man. Man, think about that is, and I know Brazil's stats ain't all of that, but Brazil can really play. But the thing about it, when you putting them out there and then as soon as they make a mistake or something, you pulling them, and then you forget to put them back in, that kind of loses a little motivation. I played basketball and football, and I do know about that, you know. I didn't play on the college level like that, but you know, I ain't, you know, but still, you know, it's when you get put in there, you want to play, you know you should play, you're older than most of the players on the team, and you want to play, and that just takes a little bit out of your confidence, knocks your confidence level down. Ohio State, I'm looking for them to win tonight. I'm taking all bets on the Buckeyes, and it won't be hard to get a bet, Phil, because there's a lot of Notre Dame fans around here. I was shocked. My God. Everybody stay warm. It's cold outside. My building is still cold. I got in here late, and it ain't really heated up 100% yet. It's cold in here. I got my coat on. Hey, I'm going to hang up, man. Y'all have a good evening and enjoy the game tonight. Go Hawks.
Thank you very much for calling. So, you know, my thing with Big Z, and I know he played a really nice game. It's not to take away from that. It's just, is Z going to be the answer to what ails Arkansas right now? This is the first game that he's recorded double-digit rebounds. He's not been a double-double machine. Even before SEC play started, when he was getting 25, 27 minutes a game, the most rebounds he'd recorded in a game was 6. So this is the outlier, the game against Missouri. And yeah, playing the 29 minutes is also the outlier because that's the most he's played. My question would be is if the game was tighter, would he have been in there at that point? Because he had a couple of other games that were tight with Ole Miss and LSU, and he wasn't out there very much. Look, I think that he could help with that outside shot. You know, getting 10 rebounds, I just don't think he's physical enough to consistently be a big time rebounder. And at 7'2", I still think he gets pushed out of the way. But I mean, you got to try something. You really do. You got to try something. And Cal switched up the lineup from this last game, and who knows if it changes again.
Big Z's long, and he can have moments in the paint where he can kind of make it difficult for defense. I mean, for offense, just with his length and being able to block shots. I'm with you. I like Brazil and Big Z and Jonas Adu. Now he only played 11 minutes, and I thought that was kind of strange that he only. But if you can find a way to put those three on the court, and you got Wagner and Thiero, I mean that's a good little five right there that I think you could cause some problems.
All of these things that come together. It's like, look, I've still thought that if it's going to be any semblance of a successful season on a game-by-game basis, you have to get something from Adu, and you have to get something from Nelly Davis. And I mean more than 7 points, and I mean more than 3 rebounds or 4 points in 10 minutes. It's just it's mind-blowing to think of Jonas Adu being potentially the most sought-after 4 or 5 in the SEC coming out of Tennessee in the transfer portal. But he's been up and down. It just, that's an aspect of it. And I think that means more than giving, Big Z more minutes. And with Davis, look, and you understand about the wrist injury and all of that, but you're not going to win a lot of games where the guy that was probably making more money than anybody else on the team for reasons because he is a scorer and has been previously, 4 years of scoring, isn't scoring enough for you. I still think we try to get creative with all of this, and Knox and Richmond have to get better, and they all do. But Adu and Davis are still absolutely key to this team, and they have to be good game by game. You can't have a one-off. I think that's really the way the team's got to play. The whole team, and it's not even just play a full game. It's the same ideas going. What did we talk about last week, Matt? Forget about making the tournament. Forget about next week. Forget about the second half of the team you're about to play. You've got to have 5 good minutes, and then 5 good minutes, and then 5 good minutes, and they couldn't even come out with 5 good minutes to start last game.
They had some moments where I thought they were stingy on defense, but you're right. You get yourself in a hole like that, and it really is tough to come back. It comes down to making shots. We were 21%, 5 of 23 from the 3-point line. They were 11 of 23. Phil, they had 9 3-point makes in the first 15 minutes of the game. I mean, we had times where we weren't switching off. There was one time the guy had the ball, and we have 2 guys at the top of the key, and both of them go to somebody else, and so he just shoots a wide-open three-pointer and make. It's like, how do you still got to do the basics as far as stopping ball in transition. And we are so athletic. If it's there in the transition, let's go. But if it's not, let's be disciplined enough to pull the ball out and make the other team play defense a little bit.
Brought to you by Crabtree RV Center. They've been serving our listening audience for over 70 years in Alma at the junction of I-40 and I-49. Going to help your family with the best experience choosing an RV for the adventures you describe. They got the service and parts department on site and everything you need at Crabtree RV. Been making families' dreams come true for over 70 years and 4 generations. You can go to crabtreerv.com to get a look at the inventory. Meanwhile, halftime returns right after this.
It'll be like this one time at band camp.
This is halftime.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today and see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit can save you up to $500 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
Something amazing is happening in workplaces everywhere. Devices are learning how people work and adapting to help them get more done. That's because CDW is modernizing experiences with Dell's intelligent portfolio of devices. Thanks to built-in security and AI capabilities, your teams can work smarter wherever they may be. Dell and CDW. Make amazing happen. Learn more at cdw.com/Dell-Client.
Hey everyone, Erica Jensen here at AAA Business Systems in Northwest Arkansas. Are you happy with your current office technology provider? Did you know that AAA Business Systems has been in business since 1979 and longer than any other provider in Northwest Arkansas? Listen up, I may be a Cajun girl at heart, but I'm a Razorback through and through. Call me today at 479-442-4185 to learn more about the one company that can truly change the way you work and remember anything else is just a copy.
At Dobson Fiber, we're helping you build stronger connections by bringing the fastest internet network available to your business. Why fiber? Fiber internet provides reliable, symmetrical, blazing speeds. Without any interruptions or buffering, you can rely on Dobson for all your data needs. With Dobson Fiber as your premium internet provider, you can focus on the things that matter and the connections you build. To see if fiber is available to you, visit Dobson.net. Dobson Fiber, building stronger connections.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Leaving for the gym so early?
I'm ready to go.
Since you started taking Nugenix Total T, you've been acting like when we met in our 20s.
I feel like myself again. Lower testosterone after turning 40 slowed me down. Nugenix Total T has been a game changer for me.
What is it about Nugenix Total T that's different?
It's a key ingredient called Tesnor. It boosts free and total testosterone to help you get back the drive and energy from your youth. Total T is backed by 5 clinical studies.
I've seen the huge difference it's made for you in the gym, at work, and in the bedroom.
I'm so glad I sent them a text for my complimentary bottle. Text ROCK to 321321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Nugenix is the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and we'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever. Absolutely free. Text ROCK to 321321. That's ROCK to 321321.
Winter has arrived, bringing frosty mornings, holiday travels, and unpredictable roads. That's why it's the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart. From top quality tires to expert service at competitive prices, we've got you covered. Visit our Fort Smith location at 9700 Highway 271 and let us prepare your vehicle for everything winter has in store. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
Don't act so special. What I do is not for you. Forget about it. You made this mess up. Now get your door. Don't you ignore. Forget about it. You run in circles when you're touching me. Get your paws off my toes. Cause I know you want me. Away and forget about it. Don't think you've made it under my skin. Could never get in. Forget about it.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Let's hear from the quarterbacks in tonight's college football playoff championship, keeping in mind neither of these guys were playing for this team that they are with now last year. Will Howard spending 4 years at Kansas State before becoming Ohio State's QB, and Riley Leonard at Duke for the previous 3 years before going over to Notre Dame. And here is Will Howard on following play calls versus his own reads.
It's definitely a different kind of, feeling sometimes when it's not necessarily a progression. Sometimes it's like, hey, man, can I throw it to this guy if he wins? And it's that feel of like, I'm sure you know it, but like hey, I just can feel like he's not going to win on this outcut just because I know that, he's got him stacked inside. And, exactly. Like there's certain things that, you kind of have to feel. But it's definitely a balancing act because, sometimes there's plays where, with a different guy, if it's not Jeremiah or Emeka, I'm probably not throwing that ball. But here, you can give those guys chances and let them make you look good.
It's interesting. He points. You get talking about difference in your reads and all of that, but you can also hear the trust he has in those two amazing receivers, Matt. And I figure those guys, they'll be open enough for Howard to make a difference tonight.
Oh, absolutely. Man, that freshman, he is an absolute stud. 2 and 4 on the outsides. Phil, Notre Dame likes to play man and get after you. I don't know how much man they're going to play because you probably have to mix up some looks for them and try to make it difficult on it. But being a quarterback, especially young quarterbacks, Phil, if you get man coverage, it's like, hey, my guy can beat that guy with timing and the route and precision. That's why you practice so much. And really, that's what you want as a quarterback. Man coverage. It's if you're good enough to make the throw.
Well, let's hear from one of the defensive backs that'll be trying to guard against the pass. Here's Notre Dame's Jordan Clark.
All right, so I got to ask you, your head coach has played in a national championship game before. When he played at Ohio State, played linebacker. I played against him. Has he shared hey, in this situation, there's going to be a lot of outside noise. Let's focus on the game. Has he given any words of wisdom as far as having that experience in this game?
Nothing specific to this game. I feel like his message throughout the year has kind of been, to keep your head on straight. Don't let the outside noise affect you. Obviously, we had that loss to NIU where we thought we were the greatest thing ever. You know what I'm saying? So we know we aren't invincible, but we also know that we're a very good football team and just super excited for the opportunity.
It's interesting you hear him talk about the loss to Northern Illinois. Maybe they'd been undefeated in the regular season, but it certainly feels like that was a galvanizing game for the Fighting Irish. And just based on the way Ohio State's played since the loss to Michigan, it's the same thing. Losing sometimes can be a massive motivator, can't it? Just like fear can be a motivator too.
Well, it helps keep you focused up. That's the thing. You don't get ahead of yourself. It kind of humbles you a little bit, and that's what they were able to do. They were able to learn from that and go forward. I do think it could be a closer game than you think, Phil. I got Ohio State by about 10, but I wouldn't be surprised. Now, would you be surprised if Notre Dame does win? And what do you think? They got to keep it under 24 points if Notre Dame's going to have a chance to win. You think if it gets into the 30s that it's Ohio State?
Absolutely. I think if the game gets into the 30s, it is definitely Ohio State. Now that's offensive points. Note if the Fighting, look, they got a good defense. If the Fighting Irish find a way to score a defensive touchdown in there or create a turnover on the plus side of the field or even within the red zone, now we're talking something different. But I know Ohio State's defense is going to be a problem for Notre Dame, especially it's one of the things that just stands out about the Buckeyes is how good they are at the goal line defensively. The way they stuffed Texas, and I know they had done that a few other times earlier in the season. And look, when you're winning games 35-7 or 45-0 or 31-7 in the Big Ten, those situations don't necessarily matter all that much. But when it's against Texas in the semifinals, that's how they won that football game, was by keeping Texas out of the end zone when it looked like there'd be no way anybody could keep them out. And you're usually going to try to run it in from there too, and that's what Notre Dame will try to do. So I just think look, I think Notre Dame's offense is fine. I like them. I just know Ohio State, we think of them as a defensive dominant or an offensive dominant team. I think they can be just as good defensively too. I think they're going to win this game by a couple of touchdowns.
To Notre Dame, you're going to have to stop the run, and it's easier said than done. But, man, Trevion Henderson and Quinshon Judkins, Phil, I think those are the two best running backs as far as a group that was in the college playoff. Now, I thought Penn State was second best, but you're going to have to wrap those boys up because, man, Henderson can go. I mean, that's a legitimate 4-4 guy.
Here's Riley Leonard on why he chose to go to Notre Dame from Duke.
I played against Notre Dame last year, and I understand the type of defense they had. When I went on my visit and they said that they were coming back, I was like, bro, I'm there. Yeah, like these guys can win a national championship. So that's why I came here, honestly.
And Riley, as a quarterback, has the game slowed down to you? Again, you've played a lot of college football, and now to this point, you've worked hard, you've battled injuries, you've gotten this team to a championship opportunity. How much has the game slowed down for you in your mind?
Yeah, I think more importantly than the game, everything else has slowed down a lot. Like if you put me in this position a couple years ago, even last year, I probably don't know how to handle it. I'm probably getting overwhelmed, don't know how to handle myself because I didn't know who I was. Like I hadn't gone through enough adversity. It's been been through a lot of adversity in a year, and really just like when I get out there, I realize like the worst that can happen, and then I shrug my shoulders like, all right, like let's play ball. Yeah, go play ball. So I think going through all the adversity has really slowed the game down for me.
All sorts of game specials, prop bets, and, of course, the usual betting line for today's college football playoff championship available at BetSaracen. They've got Notre Dame plus 8.5, Ohio State minus 350 on the money line, and the over-under is 45.5. Make sure you got BetSaracen downloaded on your iPhone from the App Store. If you're an Android user, you download it from Google Play. Got to be within the borders of the state of Arkansas to use BetSaracen. You can always go online to BetSaracen.com. Our number on halftime, 877-377-6963. We're in the home stretch and more after the break.
Good luck with your layoffs, all right? I hope your firings go really well.
This is Halftime. You can now download our new app in the iTunes or Google Play Store. Listen anytime and anywhere on your favorite mobile device. Just search Hit That Line now.
BetSaracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with BetSaracen because BetSaracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid and faster. Find your winners on BetSaracen and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
BetSaracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Ready to explore beyond the beaten path? Discover the Range Rover lineup at Land Rover of Little Rock. Experience handcrafted luxury with the capability to take on any adventure. The elegant Range Rover offers unmatched performance and first-class luxury. The Range Rover is built for every journey. Visit Land Rover of Little Rock today and explore our incredible Range Rover selection. Plus, take advantage of our promotions and recently revamped service department. Visit us at 25 Colonel Glenn Plaza Drive or log on at LandRoverLittleRock.com.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
Are you ready to work for one of the area's premier companies? If so, Forsgren wants to offer you a rewarding new career. Forsgren has been building the foundation of the River Valley for over 80 years. Forsgren is recruiting for experienced concrete finishers, equipment operators, truck drivers, and laborers. Forsgren is a destination point for men and women with a drive toward excellence. Join the Forsgren legacy. Apply now on any device, anywhere at GoForsgren.com. That's GoForsgren.com. Forsgren Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Looking for a way to get your favorite lures from Pradco at the click of a button? Learner.com not only has brands such as Rebel, Yum, Booyah, and more, but the site includes exclusive deals and baits you won't find anywhere else for your favorite brands. We have free shipping for all U.S. orders over $35, so be sure to treat your favorite fishing buddy or yourself to some new tackle box treasures. Check out Learner.com today.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go.
The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Need a little extra cash? Go see Rusty at Golden Gym Pond, 310 West Center in Greenwood. Get the money you need with loans on jewelry, guns, tools, and electronics. If you're looking for a gift, they have a large selection of jewelry to choose from, and Rusty can take care of all jewelry repair. Stop by Golden Gym Pond today, 310 West Center in Greenwood, or call 996-2792. Open 9 to 5:30 Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and 9 to 3 on Wednesday. Golden Gym Pond.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Baby, there's nobody but you. Charms to revel where the wind blows. Stay gentle, sweet love, be like you used to be. Light up the night more than the stars above me.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Well, I'm pretty excited about our home stretch segment here because this will be a truth telling segment, and if you do have earplugs, I do recommend putting them in at the very moment because we'll have the single loudest cereal in the history of the earth being eaten by our friend C. Real here. All right, grape nuts are the halftime homework. Matt, he said he got the delivery during the show, so somebody's there with him. I've actually come to the point where I came close to driving to the store this morning and getting a whole box. Now, keep in mind, the boxes of grape nuts are deceptively small.
Yeah.
It makes you think that there's not a lot in there, but every tiny, I'd say grape nuts is a very dense cereal, a very dense box of cereal. But part of this too, all right, I haven't had a bowl of grape nuts in, I can't tell you when. Matt, the last time you had one, if ever?
I feel like it would have been in my youth. It had been 20 years ago since the last time I'd had that.
I mean, I get made fun of by my kids if I have Cheerios here. Heck, they're calling, I eat Golden Grams sometimes in the evening. Yes, I'm getting back to cereal too much. I'm eating way too much of it once again, but Golden Grams is not old man or grandpa cereal, as I am told. Grape nuts is like Methuselah. But we're trying to teach our friend cereal here some of the stuff that some of us did grow up with. So you have a bowl, you have milk, and you have a spoon, right?
I have a spoon, I have the grape nuts, I have a bowl. I've got the milk, but I don't have the milk in it yet.
You're not going the Jerry Seinfeld route by walking around the studio with a glass, a deep glass of milk with grape nuts at the bottom of it, which, by the way, that can be the very first ingredients to cement if you're, in the right place. So I would recommend pouring the milk into it because otherwise I don't know how palatable it's going to be here. I don't really know how palatable it's going to be to begin with.
Well, you said to try it without it, so I'll take at least one spoonful.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's hear what this sounds like. Oh my gosh, that's painful just to hear. Oh, goodness. Do you hear the sound of that? It's like he was literally walking on broken glass. Isn't there a song by Annie Lennox about eating grape nuts?
Man, I don't know if milk would do much good. It might help a little bit.
Yeah, you could put the milk in there and have it sit in the milk for like 4 hours, and then maybe your teeth can make it through this stuff. You realize you got to eat an entire box of this to actually make it through your homework for the week.
Man,
can you do this?
It's going to take sugar and milk, and I probably could do it, yeah. But it would not be. Oh, that's awful.
He deserves credit for the effort.
What is the grape nut?
Man.
What is the, health reasons? What are grape nuts supposed to be good for?
Supposed to harden the enamel of your teeth. Oh, boy. I have no idea. Maybe it's good for digestion or fiber purposes or, I don't know, cleaning yourself out somehow, because otherwise, I don't know. Can you describe the flavor for me? What does this taste like?
It tastes like sugarless wheat. Like it's just, it almost has like a saltiness to it, but it's.
You would say it tastes like cardboard, but cardboard's not not crunchy like this. It doesn't have any sugar in it, and neither does grape nuts. Remember, the third ingredient is salt. You might as well mix it with some pepper, because salt and pepper work together.
Man, I need another bite to see what I can compare it to.
I just love that he said he needed another bite. You definitely did. It's like, is Dr. Charlie Liggett listening right now? River Valley Smile Center is going to have another patient coming down at some point that ended up loosening a tooth because of the cereal he was eating. That's the loudest thing I will hear all week long. And I got a 12-year-old who can be really loud sometimes. So you never quite know what he's going to say, but I'll tell you what he won't ever say. Dad, I'd love a bowl of grape nuts.
Where's the grape at? Where's the grape flavor? I don't taste that.
It's not
Jerry
purple.
Seinfeld. That's exactly what he was asking. It doesn't taste like grapes, doesn't taste like nuts. Yeah, it's not purple either. Or green. Or connected to wine somehow. Maybe that's what you got to do. Pour it in some wine. See if that helps the flavor a little bit. Nobody's ever put cereal in wine.
I almost think water would help it at this point.
You better put some water on that. Well, I appreciate you at least giving the effort.
I mean, I
could
probably do it with milk, but it would not be fun.
See, that's
I don't
the
know
only
how
way
badly I want to do it, to be honest.
I'd say that's the only way to do it. Now, you couldn't picture that being a dessert cereal, right? Because that's how I usually do cereal, is in the evening after I've eaten the main course, and I can't get the thought out of my mind of the next bite.
That's
of
definitely
Golden
not a
Grahams.
dessert.
No.
That
would be the dessert that you taste after you cross the river Styx.
Yeah, that's something you're trying to lose weight right there. That's, I don't know who in their right mind. I mean, I guess if it's all you got,
You won't be buying a second box unit?
No, I would not.
I think it's just a matter of actually making it through the first bowl, never mind the entire box of this, because I can't imagine he's going to do it. Dr. Liggett is listening right now in Kingston, Jamaica. How quickly can you get to Jamaica cereal? Because you may need a little help from our dental friend or anybody that
I don't think the people in Jamaica would like this.
I doubt they'd eat it. Yeah. Even in a certain mindset, I think you would stay away from grape nuts. But that's well done for at least giving it a shot. Well done. 877-377-6960. By the way, you got to finish the box by the end of the week. That is the actual assignment. You can pull that off, can't you?
I may have to put just anything sweet, like anything at all. Chocolate.
Or like a whole pound of sugar, and then it'll do wonders for you.
Skittles, anything.
I mean, Skittles makes a drink now. Sooner or later, it's going to be Skittles cereal, right? I mean, it look like Trix. It's just another different form of Trix. All right. I'd mentioned this earlier. I think I brought it up to, was it Mike Irwin? Baseball America over the weekend has tabbed Gabe Gackle as the SEC preseason pitcher of the year. And I could, like, I didn't look at the comments on social media about it because I feel I have a sense of what the comments say. There's going to be about 45 to 50% was like, that's great, good for him, can't wait to see him pitch. And then there'll be about 30% that are like, I don't care, I don't want to hear about any of this stuff. I don't want anybody that's getting any preseason hype. I'd rather us be picked dead last and then be happy with what happens after that. And the other 20% are like, yes, this is the year it's going to happen, and this is the guy that's going to lead us to it. I don't know who else could have been up for this award specifically, and I don't even think it's an award. I hate that you do this in college sports. Nobody does this in professional sports. Nobody, you might pick a preseason MVP for this organization or that organization, but it's not really promoted as such. I hate the preseason lists. I hate the preseason awards, but if we're going to be doing this, Gackle is an obvious choice as a frontline Friday night starting pitcher. And I think one aspect of Gackle this year that can be different from Hagen Smith last year is to go a little bit longer in games. You know, I don't think Gackle had the arm surgery that Hagen had in high school. He had the Tommy John surgery already. So sometimes there can be, not like treating him with kid gloves, but that's always in the back of your mind. You know, and I think they're also different style pitchers too, where their stuff might feel somewhat similar because they throw so hard. But Gackle's breaking balls a little bit more of a downward drop. You saw more of a sweeper from Hagen Smith, and they both have great changeups. But I think Gackle is the kind of pitcher that can get quicker outs, and I think can go deeper into games. That is one aspect of Smith last year and really over his 3-year career. That was a bit of a bugaboo for him. Now, he's one of the greatest pitchers in Arkansas history, but you look at his career, and it was rare that he went 7 innings. 6 innings was a thing he got to last year, not so much the year before. I think Gackle's a pitcher that can get you 6, 7 innings on a routine basis. The trick will be you got to get outs within 3 pitches, and Smith struck out so many batters. I think Gabe will too, maybe not quite to the level that Hagen did. So be a little bit more contact, a few fewer pitches than I think Gabe will throw, and I wouldn't be surprised if he actually has more innings pitched than Hagen did last season, and that will spell great things for a bullpen that I think is deep. But on a Friday, you don't really want to have your closer or your best pitchers necessarily going multiple innings if you want to save them for later on in the weekend. And I think Gackle, if you get 7 innings from Gackle, I think there'll be a setup man to go in front of Fouch, depending on the score. And then it's 1 inning for Fouch, and then he could be ready to go the next day. Even if you just face one batter in the 8th inning and then come back for the 9th, that sometimes can be an issue for the next 2 days. And I think that'll just be one aspect of Gackle's pitching that can be a little bit of a step forward from Hagen Smith last year. And then the other aspect too is, of course, you know, Smith was the SEC pitcher of the year, but what else did you get in the second half of the season from your starting rotation? And it really wasn't much on a week-by-week basis. There were some starts here and there for Molina and for Tigert and Wood too that were good. It's just you're still trying to find the right matchup, and you know, obviously by the end of the season, neither Molina nor Tigert were really part of the plans any longer. So with Beidelshees and Root, guys that they're not flamethrowers. I think they will be getting a lot of outs a little quicker in the count. So I hope one aspect of this next year for Arkansas baseball is that there's just not as much reliance on the bullpen, because I think there was a lot of reliance on the Arkansas bullpen last year. 877-377-6963 on any thoughts about that. And hey, if you saw Gackle named SEC Pitcher of the Year, preseason Pitcher of the Year by Baseball America, and you rolled your eyes and you screamed and you shouted, "No! I don't want to see any of that." I get it. But that also means you pay attention to the team, and that also means you're not surprised that Gabe Gackle is the preseason SEC Pitcher of the Year. All right, we got a break in just a moment. Want to remind you, though, about our Hit That Line Now app. It's brought to you by Taco Bell. Whether you're craving something cheesy, saucy, or crunchy, Taco Bell has you covered. And we're back to wrap up halftime right after this.
His mama named Clay. I'm gonna call him Clay.
This is halftime.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Come get you some. 2728 Townsend Avenue is your off-road and performance center headquarters. They've got everything from lift kits, wheels, LED light bars, UTV parts and accessories, winches and tires. Need general 4x4 repair? No problem. Come get you some has one of the largest 4x4 shops in the States. They do it all, from installing a bug shield to building some of the baddest off-road machines in the country. Call them today at 782-6833. That's 782-MUD. Or check them out online at cgysoffroad.com. Come get you some.
Happy New Year from Sharp Equipment. Come on over to the new Sharp Equipment today and explore what all Sharp has to offer. From our latest offers and deals as a Wacker Neuson dealer to customized hydraulic and industrial hoses, equipment repairs, and as a Cinnabogan authorized service provider, we're able to offer even more. Stop in to check out the new location at 5608 Wheeler Avenue in Fort Smith, or give us a call at 479-649-0500 to see how at Sharp Equipment we help you move more than just the world. We help you move forward. Sharp Equipment, your Wacker Neuson dealer.
If you live near Alex, Alma, Branch, Bloomer, Mountain Burg, or Ozark, Wave Rural Connect Internet may be available to you right now. Wave is now serving a few non-member areas and adding more in the coming months. Check availability online. Sign up.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Shop can't miss deals going on now during Pro Savings Days at Lowe's. For a limited time, get a free adjustable stand when you buy a DeWalt 12-inch miter saw. That's a $229 value. Plus, save $680 on a Midea 4-piece kitchen appliance suite, now just $17.96. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Valid 113 through 124. Cannot be combined with additional discounts while supplies last. See store or Lowe's.com for more details and qualifying items.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisaw.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
I ain't happy. I'm feeling glad I got sunshine in a bag. I'm useless, but not for long. The future is coming on. I ain't happy. I'm feeling glad I got sunshine in a bag. I'm useless, but not for long. The future is coming on. It's coming on. It's coming. It's coming on. It's
finally, someone let me out of my cage. Now, time for me is nothing cause I'm counting no A's. Now, I couldn't be there. Now you shouldn't be scared. I'm good at repair, and I'm under each snare, intangible. Bet you didn't think, so I command you to. Panoramic view. Look, I'll make it all manageable. Pick and choose, sit and lose. All you different crews, chicks and dudes, who you think is really kicking tunes. Picture you getting down in a picture tube, like you lit the fuse. You think it's fictional, mystical, maybe spiritual. Hero who appears in you to clear your view when you're too crazy. Lifeless to know the definition for what life is. Priceless to you because I put you on the hype shit. You like it? Gun smoke, you righteous with one toke. You're psychic among no possess you with one go.
Welcome back into Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Studios. Crabtree RV Center in Alma, where we make your dreams come true.
And wrapping it up here on Halftime on ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com. Coach Cal radio show tonight. We'll join the national championship in progress with Ohio State and Notre Dame. And I mean, I'd just like to see a game that's compelling into the second half. I do think, Matt, Notre Dame will be able to keep it close in the first half. I do think Ohio State begins to pull away in the third. And let's see, if I were to just throw out a final score here, I think you're looking at something like 36 to 24. Ohio State raises, I was going to say cuts down the nets, right? No. Just eats confetti or something like that. What do you think the score is going to be? Yeah, it is a trophy game. That's right. The trophy game of trophy games.
I think it is going to be around a 28-17 type of game. Notre Dame's defense is tough, but I think Ohio State is going to get theirs. Now, if they can mess it up and if they can do some zone and kind of get creative on defense, let's say you get a punt return for a touchdown or a punt block, and let's say surprise onside kick. I think Notre Dame's going to have some things go their way. But there's talent, man, and that Ohio State defense is just as good as that Notre Dame defense.
We're getting a 6:30 kickoff, and we'll be joining it in progress here on ESPN Arkansas affiliates. Hey, if you missed anything from halftime today, which included our chats with Pig Trail Nation's Mike Irwin and our 3 Up, 3 Down with Dr. Charlie Liggett from River Valley Smile Center, all ready for you on the Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast, thanks to Serial's work. You can find Eastside Liquor 9390 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, 479-452-7311. Been with us for 3 years. You can download that podcast anywhere you get your podcasts. Ruskin and Zach are coming up in just a few minutes, and then we'll be hammering down the national championship game tomorrow when we reconvene at 11 o'clock.
Check out, for all the people that Dave Chappelle on Saturday Night Live was, at least check out his monologue, because he can still crush it from time to time.
Is it like a 20-minute monologue? Did I read that right?
Oh, he did. He went up. Because when you're watching it, you usually about 3, 4, 5 minutes. He goes out there like Leo DiCaprio in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, when he has his chicken wing and he just throws it on the floor. He's just ashing his cigarette wherever. He lives by his different rules, and when he gets done with his cigarette, he just throws it on the floor.
Well, I guess we should, hopefully at one point we all live that freely, right? Hope you have a great rest of the day, Matt. Cereal, enjoy the rest of your Grape Nuts Bowl, which I hope you have finished by now. And we'll do this again with you tomorrow. So for Matt, for Christian, I'm Phil. Thanks for tuning in for halftime today. Now, get up, get out, and get better.
Up to $3,000 off and 0